Yo, before we get started, man, like yo, I got a co-host here. What's your
hmm
name?
My name is Jack.
Okay, cool. We about to interview Solar, man. So before we start anything, man, how's your day, Solar?
It's really good. It's really good. Very well rested. I've been working on rising. I get up really early. My schedule's right behind me. I get up really early. I start getting to work every day, every single day.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
fast.
entrepreneurs work way harder than 9 to 5 people. I'll go to bat for that.
Yeah, fast. All right, before we get to anything else, man, like you want to explain like how you was growing up? Like, do you have like a male figure or a father figure growing up?
Many, many. And my father was a father figure of the neighborhoods.
Yeah,
Like everybody called my dad. Everybody called my dad unc. So my dad, I'm a junior, so I'm Courtney Pete Townsend Jr. My
okay,
dad, he's a 6'7" Jamaican man from Kingston, Jamaica. And
yeah,
so the whole family, when they moved out, they lived on like the same block in Oceanside. They lived in Maryland when they came from Kingston, but for
yeah,
me, we was in Cali, and I had
fast.
all my big cousins. I had my dad. I had all the OGs. All of them was around me growing up. So I grew up in the game. I grew up in what that was, not knowing what it was.
Yeah, fast.
It's
So
like
when
Oceanside, California. I grew up
Oceanside,
10 years
California,
ago. Yeah. So my cousins and my father.
so you used to bang too?
Yeah, but not. It was separately. That was
Yeah,
years later. That was when I was like in high school. I
yeah,
became Brims because I was making so much money at the time.
yeah,
And they was like, well, because they was helping me make the money. They pretty much like it was an easy way for me to kind of like go into the game because it wasn't like, oh, I'm not shooting and killing people. I'm just
yeah.
making money.
Yo,
And so it was
fast.
cool, but they eventually even they was like, bro, you ain't supposed to be in those games. You were telling me like that you ain't. This is what you talk about, bro. Like
Yeah,
you got
fast.
drunk last night and started telling people to love themselves. Like you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
be
that's
like,
fast.
hey, like, you're supposed to be in the game.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So, how many kids you have? You mind me asking? I'm still learning about you. I did my research. How many kids you have in total?
I have two and a half, two kids. My three feathers are for my kids. The the,
Okay.
the third kid, why I said
It's-
two and a half, was because
Yeah,
the first one passed. My first child passed, and it's hard to say like that's not my one of my kids. It's really hard to say that that wasn't one of my baby mothers because we went through 9 months of pregnancy, and it
yo,
ended up being a
fast,
stillbirth event.
fast. I know how
So,
So
that
it's
be.
like it's hard to discount that. And love, whenever you see love wins or whenever you see love pop up throughout my journey, that's
Yeah,
when everybody is referencing my daughter because they know about what Eligio was on. They know about what Eligio did already to a degree because I have been talking about it since I left. And
yeah,
then since I left, I found out more about that happened behind my back, which made me so much more sicker about it. But I've definitely recalibrated myself since then.
all right, fast.
so other than Baby Love, is just the baby with Velvet and Janae.
No, my son, my newest born son, is with Velvet. My daughter
Velvet and Janae. Yeah.
My daughter Azuli Rose is with Janae. See, that's my clone. Whenever you guys see her, nobody see my son. She keeps him hidden from the world.
Yeah,
And my daughter Love was with Jayon Marie, which is also known as Zoka, who's in carbonation. She's still in the cult. She just got bailed out of jail recently, and went back to the cult. Cut her hair off and everything.
damn.
It's crazy because I was about to campaign to maybe do some type of GoFundMe or something or use my own money to get her out.
Yeah, yeah,
And somebody beat me to the punch, and I'm pretty sure it was the Colt. And so
yeah.
I'm sure they got her out or whatever this case was, and she's with them now. So I was hoping that she might have gone to her family after the jail event, but no.
Have y'all talking
No.
yet or no?
Nah, I think if we talked that she would leave. I
Yeah,
think if Zoka talked to me, she would leave, and so they'll probably never let her do that. I mean, even when we were in the cult, when she had to sneak to talk to me in there. She had to sneak to text
yeah,
me in there. Even after I left, and she was still in it, she was sneaking to text me, figure out
yeah.
what to do. So it's like, She knows Zoka's an interesting one because she knows it's wrong already. So it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. I feel like they think it's too late, or maybe they're in too deep. Like
yeah.
something. They
So
gotta
so
just
why
go
you think they
ahead on.
still following Nature Boy? Why you think they still like following him?
Very easy, very easy. Because he's in jail. If he wasn't in jail, they would all be running for the hills daily as they usually do.
Yeah,
But people forget that he in jail, so they're not
yeah.
running away. If
That's
he
facts
wasn't in
though.
jail, they'd be running away. That's what the common thing was on the lives. Malia
Yeah,
left today. Aya left today. Zoka left today. They came back, and now they back, and now she leaving again, and now she
yeah.
coming back. So
Like, so listen, I'm trying to know, like, from the beginning what happened. Like, what really made you go, like, and find your spiritual way and leave, like, the normal life behind? Like, you trying to get in tune with yourself. Like, when you realize that, like, what, anything happened to you? Like, feel me?
I kind of talked about it today. You know, what's launched my spiritual journey was knowing that the United States didn't necessarily have my best interest at hand. Once I
Yeah,
started getting into conspiracies, maybe about 2011, which is what it was coined as, was conspiracies. Now they're regular truths.
yeah, facts. We're gonna
But
speak on that later too. We're gonna speak on that later.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
internet did things we didn't expect it to do.
yeah.
And it really, especially in this season, so many deep rooted truths from Epstein Island to Diddy and the sex
Facts,
trafficking to the
facts.
higher ups in the governments dealing with trying to blame things on Oprah, using or like laser tech on their own people, like
That's
shipping and
facts.
handling hella kids. And but I've been knowing about this stuff since a long time ago, since I heard
Yeah,
about Pizzagate, and I got there by looking up Tupac. So I was looking up
yeah,
how did Tupac die, and it made no sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me. Um, and so looking into it, I ended up finding out how United States of America is predicated upon Kemetic knowledge, and that everything that they do is shrouding the fact that this is America, ancient America was Kemet. Egypt was in Egypt, and
yeah,
they've lied to us in our history books, and that's coming out like left and right. And but we don't know what to do anymore but joke about it, and people aren't realizing like you was just programmed by that. You got to do something about it for yourself. They just
yeah,
finished lying to you in your youth and your kids. Disney Channel, all these things. So I digress, but that's what started it was me realizing that this system was not meant to help us, and I ended up being very alone. Spent hours in a room, just like
yeah,
in a meditative state, kind of like this.
yeah.
I just was sitting in different spots in my room, usually just like this, normally. And I was sitting in here watching YouTube, and I was tapping into astrology through what's his name? Not Dolo the Pilot Man,
Yeah,
and he was roasting carbonation at the time with the song, and Alethea was coming out with the videos talking about Dr. Sebi. And then he made another video, Master Teacher Drops Never Before Heard Information. Everybody knows that video. And I watched that video and I was like, wow, he's saying the things that I'm saying no one's listening to, but and I looked at his page, he's been saying this.
yeah,
He's he's in nature, he's living an alternative lifestyle rather
yeah,
than me being depressed watching Fight Club thinking I'm gonna have to go and do some crazy things to the credit buildings or something one day to liberate
yeah,
our people when I'm like, hold on, I could just live another life. I thought we was gonna die if we go to the Latin countries. I thought
yeah,
it was horrible over there. Nah, it's the opposite. And so that really threw me through a loop. Once I discovered those things, I was pretty much committed for that alone at that
yeah.
point. It turned into more things, looking for brothers and sisters I didn't have, looking for a father figure because mine did start to disappear later on in life. They started to
Okay,
come in and out, and I didn't have them when I really needed them.
yeah. So like when you realize things would start getting like being like weird when you was in there, like do you realize off the bat or did
Man,
it take
good
time?
question. We're talking about years, and I think maybe what my journey there was about 5 years. I would say maybe like on year well, immediately the first week when I seen him being violent was when I first questioned things. He was being violent with Velvet, his pregnant baby mother,
Yeah,
and he made her bleed out her face. And I went and I gave her my towel. I had a maroon blood red towel, and I gave it to her. and that's the first time I ever interacted with Velvet Marquez, and was wiping blood off her face from him, and
Damn.
while she was pregnant, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, I grew up seeing my mother abused my whole life, and I'm the kid who's running in there doing karate kicks. When you hear
Yeah.
all that, it's
Facts.
me
Facts.
running in there. Yo, my bad. It's me running in there
Yeah.
and freaking out, like, yo, what the, like they was about to do right now, like, yo, you good?
Yeah.
They was about to
Yeah.
do it right now, like, yo, yeah, like that's what I was doing, and I'm jumping in with the karate kick. So
Yeah.
I'm fighting for feminism my entire life, to where by the time I'm at Carbonation and I'm with Eligio, I'm thinking like, the men that I was raised by were beta males. The men I was raised by didn't know how to harness their energy as masculine men. They're really kings. They're really chiefs. Melanin is very powerful,
Yeah.
and they just want to express that, and the system doesn't understand them. So I started to excuse my dad and my mom and my cousins for how, like, they could just deal with women in and out, pass them around to certain degrees. And I started thinking about it like I used to hate on them for that. And then
Yeah.
in carbonation, I started to think different because of all the women and how they would flock to Eligio for reasons. And then at the same time, Eligio being the talk, I will say, toxic masculine man, which I didn't know about at the time. I was thinking like,
Yeah.
this is a real man
I
outside of the
got.
system.
I
Don't
got
cry
one
and like,
question.
mm-hmm.
My fault. Like, yo, how did you and the other like husbands feel when like with all your wives tend to nature boy? Like, how do you feel? Like,
Well, they're not with us when that happens.
okay,
Whenever that
okay,
happens, there's this thing that we do where we have meetings and we establish who should be with who. So,
yeah,
and the thing is, the women always get to choose. So,
yeah,
to be quite honest with you, um, the women really were messy. And I used to say this from inside the group when we would go live. I'd be like, yo, we're not passing these girls around. I know it looks like that. I'm against
yeah,
that. We
yeah,
we value commitment and those things. So we're like, we have these meetings and these women keep choosing different things. And when they get with this guy, they're looking over here. So we're like, hold on, before you continue this
yeah.
relationship, do you really want to be with Solar, or do you want to be with Musa?
So you didn't feel no type
Or
of way at all?
Lee Hill will be like, you
So
want to be with
yeah,
me?
as a woman, y'all was okay with just like it was just choosing.
Yeah, for sure. Because what man? Number one, I'll say from a man's perspective, no man wants no woman that's looking at another man at any time. Just go,
Yeah, yeah, that's fast. That's fast.
just go. Number one. Number
That's
two
fast.
is the doctrine was you can be with one of the other men, but Eligio's the chief. And if you're with Eligio, then you'll be seen more, your message will be more powerful, and you'll be more effective in the group. So this became the number one incentive for him to always, win in those scenarios, if you will. And how would we feel? We'd be acting like, oh, cool, it's fine. Moving forward, we can go back to talking to other people, whatever the case. But behind the scenes, the men are crying. The men are
Mm,
hurt. The men are staying up all night, like talking to each other, like we trying to get each other girls, like we trying to like clean each other up. We going to the barber. We gonna go make a song now. Let's go do something fly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's how we try to optimize that as men.
But the
Damn,
only
bro.
It
thing
was
I'm gonna
like losing.
say,
It felt like losing. Yeah, it didn't feel good.
as a woman
Yeah,
that was looking for the outside, I ain't gonna say that's crazy.
It is. I mean, from a man looking from the outside is crazy because
yeah,
now my standards are so high. I don't know how I accepted any of them.
yeah. That's fast though.
That's
Because it's the men's
crazy.
fault when we do accept them, and I'm gonna say that too. The men,
Yeah,
I would say, it's such a like it's like what they call it, like an island syndrome or something. We ain't really getting no girls. Ain't no girls really coming to carbonation. We're not getting people coming in like that. So whenever one person comes in, we like, who you finna be with?
yeah.
And that's everybody's first thought. That's the woman's first thought. And yes, the women have
Yeah,
very high sex drives. Like,
facts, facts,
Yeah,
facts.
but then there's also it also looked like from my perspective, it looked like y'all let him take y'all wives.
that's your perspective.
And then it's like,
I just told you what happened, but that's your perspective.
Yeah,
And that's the type of thing. And I'm not gonna get on you like that, Jock, but it's always what you feel. And that's why I think that there's this man and woman kind of like gender war,
Yeah,
because we looking at these relationships in mass rather than focusing on our purpose and being with who
That's
we're
true.
supposed to be with and being who we're supposed to be around. So
yeah.
I had to
But
take a
you're
step
right. It
back.
was a small population, which is
I got a
true.
question. I got a
Yeah,
question.
it looked
Who
crazy. You're not
did
wrong.
did, did Janae come from you? Did she come from you? Like, and then
I'm not. It'll
Bishop,
be easier to tell you which
he
ones didn't come from me.
what happened?
It'll be easier to tell you which ones didn't come from me. Aya didn't come from me, but ended up wanting to be with me. Maria didn't necessarily come from me, but wanted to be with me. Raw
Yeah,
came from me, didn't get to be with me, and then ended up being with me. Zoka came to be with me, went with Lee Hill, came to be with me, went to Lee Hill, came to be with me, went to Lee Hill, came to be with me.
that's crazy. Yeah, sure, flip
Janae,
flopping.
probably the same amount of times. Velvet was only after the cult, and pretty much
Yeah,
every meeting was because one of the women was considering being with me. Because why? I teach all day. And he
yeah,
talks all day and repeats himself,
yeah,
but I'm always bringing new things to the table behind the scenes. I'm actually there for people. I'm actually putting in work and labor. I'm driving around getting everybody everything that they need with the team. I'm
yeah,
running the finances. Anybody needs anything, they know they got to come to me. His women are sneaking out 3 a.m., coming downstairs to talk to me, waking me up out my sleep. Like, what do I do? Should I stay here? Should I stay with him? Should I go with
So
him?
everybody was
What do I
confused.
do?
Like everybody was confused and shit.
I when I went there, my first disappointment wasn't in Eligio. It was in the group. My first
Yeah,
disappointment was I thought I was joining God's army, and in my
yeah,
head, I'm listening to the music, repeating, playing the music over and over again. I'm like, these guys got it. They know. They militant. Look at the video. They standing there. Yep, yep. I'm like, this is they got it together. So when I
yeah,
went there, and I realized, like my first day, Musa, the guy who just made the mix up I was to, he was trying to leave with a girl, and I'm like, bruh, nothing comes before the kingdom. What is wrong with you? You know?
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
y'all just listen to your mixtape 50 times. You off. And then all the advice y'all just gave was horrible. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
fam.
I just, and then Leo, like, hold on, bro, stop. They don't know you yet and they don't respect you yet. I got
Yeah,
this. Let me handle
yeah,
this. And I was like, all right, whatever. And from then on, I was pretty much silent often. I realized that everybody's quiet when he talks. And
yeah,
so I didn't really speak out much after that. But that's when I first got there. I was disappointed because I thought that they were all masters when they were all students.
yeah.
All of them were students. They didn't know what me and Eligio knew. They were learning from him.
So basically, it was lost. Then
It was what?
they were lost.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Long story short, but I didn't realize that. I didn't know that.
yeah,
So everybody coming in, I'm thinking they're gonna be lit. I'm starting to vet people before they come in. We saying we doing votes on who should come in, who shouldn't come in. I'm
yeah.
saying yes to the niggas who know the knowledge. I'm saying no to the people who clearly don't, but they're just making videos. And I'm very serious about it to the point where I'm still doing the same thing today.
Yeah,
I'm doing. I They quit. They put the knowledge away. They hung up the knowledge because Eligio decided to rape and beat people. I can't.
yeah,
It's not a good enough reason to stop living my best life and doing what I know to be right and righteous to all people because the kids is watching.
that's facts. That's definitely fact. So what you say that people are saying like they comparing you and Nature Boy together?
Well, kind of like
How
the
you feel
Dutch
about that?
thing. Like think about
Yeah,
kind of like what I just said. It's like, oh,
yeah,
so you still gonna do the same thing? Yes, because what we were doing wasn't the problem.
yeah,
We didn't all go to jail. Eligio did.
yeah. Facts,
Ain't nobody
facts.
kill themselves, and ain't nobody kill anybody else. Eligio influenced one of my brothers, Amar, to get himself into a situation where he got murdered over a couple $1,000.
Damn.
Yeah,
And Amar is loyal, correct?
Royal, correct. That's my brother, and that happened after I had left. But he was
And
talking
rest
to
in
me.
peace, loyal.
But yeah, he was talking to me that whole week, and the spirit that Loyal is to me is this is who he was. Get up every day, work out, follow your schedule, do what you got to do, handle business, show up clean, get to work. Yeah, haha,
And
fun. Let's finish the
and and
job.
and
That's
not to cut
Royal
you off,
spirit.
but can you dive in more into if you know? Can you dive more into what led into his murder?
No, what I'll say though is this: I will say that Amar, when he first came there, everybody knows for a fact. When Amar first came there, his name was Program. The reason why his name was Program was because it's like he had no personality. It's like he was an empty human. It was so weird. But he did the most work for carbonation than anyone who was ever there. from his apartment in Canada. And so we're like, bro, you gotta come. Like, yeah, you are welcome here anytime. Like, you gotta come whenever you can come. And he's a younger dude, young. So when he was at a certain age and he was able to do it, he did. And he came, and I was talking to him before I ever went to carbonation. Me and him were actually building our knowledge on our own. We were friends before carbonation. Me and Amar. And he went by program, and he was very serious and like very monk like, very focused on elevating. And so when he came to carbonation, one of the biggest things about Eligio's doctrine as it evolved after about the 2.5 year mark, and this is when I realized things were wrong with him when he started throwing away the knowledge and manipulating the knowledge. And,
Yeah.
and about my 2 year mark in, Amar was easily influenced by him. Amar's father was murdered. Amar did not have a father figure at all. He lived his life isolated in an apartment since he was a kid, even before that, and he just grew up alone pretty much. Even though he has family, he ended up having, I don't know why, but at any rate, Amar picked up the do rag. He picked up the New York. He picked up all of the all of the you know gangster habits that was not
Yeah.
him. None of it was. All of a sudden, me and him were listening to good music and all this great music. All of a sudden, now he cannot. He's listening to big. Everybody he listens to is dead now. He listening to Big
Yeah.
Scar. He listening to this person, that person, rapping, robbing, shooting, killing, and all this stuff because that's what Eligio listens to. He's only playing what Eligio likes. So he's now, I've watched this man over the years become something that he's just not and didn't even want to be, but he thinks it's righteous now because the black man, and he's like the black man's the original man. We need to follow that. And
Yeah.
Eligio is being that for us. This is where I'm at, and he's speaking knowledge too. And so Amar just he didn't question it. He was like a lot of us who didn't have like a father figure at the years we really needed him because we all was there looking for it. Even some of the grown men who came were looking for that. They were looking for some form of OG. They're really feminine grown men who would come trying to
Yeah.
be wanting to man up over the years before I even came. So that's what led to his death. Because he was doing things he didn't need to do. I led him into different routes. I told him, bro, we can just do this, we can just do that. Bro, come with me. I'm over here doing this with credit. I'm over here running credit right now. We could do that. That's smart. Let's build credit. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then you got all these people you running over there carbonation. Help them out. Learn, master your credit game, and turn them up. Everybody open up a business. Everybody open up an LLC. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling him. Like a day
Yeah.
or two before he passed, I still have messages,
Damn.
and he's just sending me like songs, and every song is about robbing and getting their money back, robbing and getting their money back, and things like that. And I'm like, bro. And then he sent me like a little chess piece, the little pawn. And then the next day he was killed. That was the day he
Nice.
was killed. Was the next day. That's why he stopped responding. So Amar, yeah, good guy. He tried. He knew he left more than most of us and came back. He knew he was one of the few people who challenged Eligio openly as well. He was one of the few people who would be like, "No, I don't agree with y'all. I'm leaving." He would
Yeah.
leave, and sometimes he'd get kicked out. So
What was
Amar,
it? Any punishment when y'all about to leave? Like, if anybody
oh,
threatened to leave, was there any punishment?
so if you was trying to leave, there's a chance you might not leave because there's going to be like this 8 hour meeting. He's going to ask you all these questions, and because these people are students and not teachers, most of them end up being like, "Okay, I guess you're right. I'm being weak right now. All right, yeah, I'll do. You right? This is for pussy. Yeah, I'm insecure. Yeah, it's my demons. Yeah, we'll put up the chart, and then we'll all hug afterwards, and they'll stay."
Yeah.
After like 8 hours, 9 hours. And sometimes when people want to leave, you can just feel it like, no, they leaving no matter what. But he'll still drag it all the way out. And the very final point, which people don't know, which we learned later in time from experience, was that if you just get up and leave, no one's stopping you. He will stay there and talk to you as long as you stay there. And as long as you try to be like, I'm leaving respectfully. All right,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. No, you can't do none of that. You just gotta go. Be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Like when I left, I said, bro, say I got demons, say I got this or that. I'm not doing this talking nothing. I'm the devil itself. Say whatever you gotta say. I'm leaving. It's my time to go.
Yeah.
And
Fast.
that's what I did
Fast.
because I knew that's how it had to be. When I did that and I told them why, I said, bro, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm valuable because you don't do nothing but devalue us. I'm gonna go somewhere where I can be actually
Yeah.
useful, where people want me to be because you clearly don't want me here. You know,
Yeah.
I ended up saying that. The other guys, Musa and Pius, they were like, no, we agree with that. We want to leave too. We see you respect other men out there better than you respect us.
Why do you think Juju and Jack stayed?
They don't know. Juju and Jax don't know. They wasn't there. That and no offense, Jock, but I'm gonna use this as an example. Is that when you say like I tell you what just happened, but then you say, well, from my perspective, it looks like this. That's kind of where they are because they
But
weren't
they came
there.
late in the game.
Yeah, they wasn't there, so they can still speculate. They could still be like, and then and think about it. When I left, I ended up impregnating Janae and Velvet over time. And everybody's thinking this is like an attack against him when it's natural love. It's really was honest, true, and it was a beautiful situation involving our families. And it was we had great visions. And it's sad because they were afraid that I was going to be just like him. So they ended up cutting us off early. They both would leave and come back and leave and come back to me. And they would just always be afraid like if I was going to, if they got too close, that I was just going to end up hurting them at the end of the day. And this is what they would express to me as well. And they let me know
Yeah,
their triggers and the way they respond is to run away. And I'm like, damn, like that sucks, but I forgive it. So there's a trend. And this is Janae and Velvet that
yeah,
are like this. And I get it. This is all they did with the Legio too, was run away and this and that. I'm not putting it all on him and I'm not putting it all on them, but what I will say is that it starts to look crazy. People start to think that I'm putting an attack on Alethea or I'm planning this or it's spiteful. They're starting to wonder if I'm
yeah,
just with them out of spite.
yeah,
They're starting to
With
wonder, is
that,
this man really like just using me?
not to cut you off, but do you feel like they see traits in you that they see in Eligio that makes them,
You'd be lying if
even
you
as a
didn't.
woman, as a woman, do they see traits in you that they see in Eligio that makes them feel like, whoa, I need to back off, I need to run away. This is too much. This is too much. I gotta go.
So yeah, anytime I say I love you, it's love bombing. And it's really hard for them to take that from me. And to say, to hear me this, like me being me, the lover boy that I am, Taurus and Venus, you know, when it comes to them and Eligio, me and Eligio are very, very much like that's not going to change. I'd have to start pretending to be someone else for our similarities to disappear. You know, a lot of the things when it comes to astrology, we're basically the same. And it's crazy how he was born at a whole nother time because we have like he's the only person I've ever met who I have any exact placement with. We have the same, and it's the most important placement in astrology. Me and him both have Cancer Moon, 27 degrees, first house. Literally, exactly the same. And we've had the same wives. Our children are with the same women. The mother energy. We had the same truck. We have the same group of friends. Everything that about me and Eligio has became meshed. And it's very interesting because that's literally how it's supposed to play out in the astrology. But if I was to tell you everything about it, I know it and I see it, and I'm just watching it unfold like a prophecy because I'm a master astrologer. I know my energy, so I watch my life like a prophecy. Y'all lives, I don't know. It's free will. So, but I know for me, what things look like, and I'm not gonna stop looking like Eligio. It's not like I'm trying to do that. It's what it looks like. I rally people together. We teach spiritual knowledge all day, every day. This is how I was before carbonation. This is how I am after carbonation. Like Solar was before carbonation too. That name was before carbonation. I was
yeah,
teaching at lakes before carbonation. I started my own tribe before I went to carbonation.
yeah,
That's just who I was. My family not surprised. My family like that's he being him. Whereas the world doesn't know Courtney. My family
yeah.
knows Courtney. They're like, nah, that's him.
And with it, and you seem like a cool dude, Solar. And with it, I feel like I can
It's
fuck
and
with you.
but that's what scares everybody.
And with it, but at the same time, can you feel like you can explain that and you can feel like they could differentiate the two?
Yeah, they know.
Or
They
it
know.
feel like
They
it
know.
can't be a differentiate between the
It's
two and
not
it could always be a match and it can't be a separation.
beautiful question. It's not me. And I had to heal and I had to learn that. It's not me. Their
It's
perceptions of
them.
me have nothing to do with me. If they never knew Eligio, they couldn't even say that. And so I had
It's,
to let it go and be like, you know what? I can't live my life
With what they
anymore.
got to deal with.
And yeah, and that was a lesson from Eligio. Every day waking up, throwing yourself away to be what he needed you to be or wanted you to be. And that was what it was, but we're thinking military. We're thinking stand up straight while he screams in your face. It's
yeah,
not about fighting. It's not about losing respect. It's about holding your water, controlling yourself. So we'll take anything because it's drill sergeant vibes, and we're okay with that.
yeah. I got a question. Like when he was on online and shit, and he was disciplining y'all, was that a skit? Or was it for real? Cause it
Mix,
really did.
mix.
It
At
was
the end, it
mixed.
was
So
mixed.
some of that stuff was real.
When it was introduced, it was all staged,
Yeah,
and then it started to be like improvised while the
yeah,
cameras were on, and people wouldn't respond because we on camera. And this
yeah,
was once staged. Now we're doing it again. I guess it's just a part of the script now. So everybody will
yeah,
still stand up against the walls around the room, and one person acts out. He'll have somebody slap them, and we're just like,
yeah,
all right. So, but this is all on camera when that first started happening. It was
yeah,
days like as the days went on, he started doing all this off camera. It was just trending. Have the like one of the women tripping, or have another woman slap him. He just started doing this. Once he figured out he could do it, it was like a kid with a new toy.
he would start power tripping and shit.
Yeah, started using it
Yeah,
all the time. Slap her, slap this bitch, slap that bitch, slap
yeah,
this bitch, slap this bitch. And then
yeah,
he slowly trickled over to the men. And
yeah.
he never put his hands on us until this event and this all started happening. And then he used to go up and slap Royal hard because he would play the wrong song or be at the wrong volume. And he'll
Yeah,
go over and he started pushing around Pice and slapping Pice and or Armand. And that was crazy because Armand was sick and they telling him he got demons and stuff because he got allergies. And we're in Georgia in spring.
yeah.
And he's telling me he got demons and whatnot. He's a demon and all this stuff. And pretending to hug him and pushing him away and slapping him and all this other different stuff. And then the very next day, I literally still have the video. This man is sitting here looking in the mirror, butt naked, with all his women around him, with Pice standing right there in the room. He's staring at Pice, masturbating, looking at Pice, talking about, looking at his feet like, dang, you do kind of look like a girl, Pice. Look at your
Oh,
feet.
hold on. I'm
I got
confused.
a
Who
video of
Pisces
this
again?
shit, my nigga. A
Pice was a
Word,
male,
no
a
Diddy,
word.
male
no
in
Diddy,
the
no
tribe.
all
No
Diddy, nigga,
Diddy.
all Diddy, all Diddy, nigga, all Diddy. Yes, Diddy.
You
This
say
is
all Diddy.
all Diddy moments, bro. But that's my thing was I
Y'all did
never put the
that?
video. I
Dead
still got
ass.
because I forgot about it, but it's in my iCloud. So anytime I get a new phone, I'm like, damn. I even edited it. I edited a video about it once, and I sent it to him to Pipes to let him know, like, man, I want to post this shit so bad, and I sent it to him, and it was years ago, but I just thought it was messed up, and I sent it to Pipes so he can get a frame on what he just
Funny.
said. Like, yeah, you let that go. Don't forget about what happened to you, bro.
What, Nature Boy on drugs or something?
Huh?
That
Nature
is a
Boy on
good
drugs or something?
question. When he was in Atlanta, before he went to jail, was Nature Boy taking drugs? He was moving like he was taking drugs.
Yeah, like he was
What
on
he was
S or
doing
something.
was like we all had smoked weed on and off here and there, but that was
Yeah,
never really a trigger because we had done that over years on and off.
yeah.
What triggered him was, I think, moving to Atlanta, hanging out with certain people, make him trying to be. He completely lost himself, and deeper than that, he started playing with different gods, deities, angels, and spirits, and he would mock them and make fun of them in all kind of different ways, like literal demons and the specific demons in the lesser key of Solomon key. He would literally like specifically like make fun of them and
Yeah.
impersonate them. And it got to a point to where we did a live with Sonetta one time, and we thought it was gonna be one of the greatest lives
I,
ever.
I
We
seen that
thought he was
shit,
gonna
yo.
teach. We thought he was gonna
Yeah.
about to blow the top off of everything,
Beep,
man.
beep, beep,
And
beep.
this nigga went on there talking about, I'm charging. I'm 30%. Oh, we over there like,
I seen that shit today. That's crazy, bro. Yo, so
no,
like, yo,
dead ass. The niggas
when you were
behind the
doing that shit,
camera.
what was going through your head when you were doing that shit, bro? Like,
We
what was
didn't
going through
fucking
your
know.
head?
I set the whole thing up with Sonetta. I got Sonetta's number on my phone. I'm calling Sonetta. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
No,
orchestrating
no.
everything. I got the camera set up, everything.
yeah.
He
If
think
we're joking and we're asking questions, Solar, I got another question for you, Solar. What was going through your head when y'all was dancing in that rain?
You want to know? I'll tell you exactly what's going through my head. I'll tell you what's going through my head. I can't tell you what's going through his head because now you know crazy to me, right? But I can tell you what's going through my head. I'm on some real life Kanye shit. Like Kanye, me and Kanye are both Gemini Sun 12th house. Sons,
Yeah,
we're both Venus and Taurus. We both Cancer ascendants. So I'm over
yeah,
here thinking Donda. I'm over here thinking like Donda, nigga, like yeah, like we out here
yeah,
like, oh, we might as well start
yeah,
pumping. Like, yo, like this
yeah,
is it. And I'm like, we got the
yeah,
masks on, and it was really cool. It was really fun for me. I'm like, yo, like, what if that goes viral on some crazy shit? Like, I don't mind. I don't
yeah,
mind that because that's like some taboo, weird art thing to me. And I feel like I look good doing it. So
yeah,
for me, it was honest fun in the rain. It was a breakaway from a lot of the monotony as well. It was really
I can
fun to
bet.
just run out there with my Versace belt and my Louis pants,
yeah,
and just
yeah.
in the rain with the mask on. It was great. And then I'm like, hey, no, and nobody asked. No, he didn't ask nobody to do that.
Hey,
I'm
A
like,
hey,
fuck
y'all
word?
it.
had
I'm
them.
about to
He
go out
did?
there. I'm going
Y'all
out there
had them
too.
girls licking the windows at the end of the video. I
Huh?
could never forget.
Oh,
Them girls
upstairs.
was licking.
I was like, I know Zoe can see me. I know Zoe can see me. I know she see it. Say, yeah, you missed out on this,
I'm going
baby.
crazy.
He look
Yeah,
good, but I
Dr.
look better. No, I'm playing.
Dre. Hey, crazy, man.
Yeah, no, that's the
Uh,
honest truth for me. I can say that for me. For
yeah.
other people, I don't know. For him, I don't know. That was analogy a little strange.
Yes. Yeah, speaking on Nature Boy, man, you think his trial was fair? Or you think he got what he supposed to get? Like, how you
I
feel in that
want.
situation?
I don't think his trial was fair because it should be way worse.
Yeah,
The way that it's worked out is you can only go on trial for what you're being convicted for. So
yeah,
he got what he got for what he was convicted for, but he didn't get what he get for what he got away with.
yeah,
And so no, I don't think it was a fair trial in that sense. But I don't think he gets away from that either. So, you know, with what he did get caught with, if you see my testimony, I only spoke about the case. I didn't bring up all the other stuff. It wasn't needed. I didn't want to go in there and show that I'm trying to attack or destroy him or anything like that. And it wasn't even about that. I wanted to show people maturity. I wanted to show
yeah,
people unconditional love. So he knows what he got to answer for. He knows what he do. But guess what? I still believe that even a person like him can still learn and can still evolve and better himself. Will it happen? That's not my concern. Can it happen? It is possible. So why would I
yeah,
play as a wedge between that? So I didn't go in there online trying to just tear down his character and this and that and this and that. I went in there, spoke on that case, and everything that needed to come out with that came out. And I did it very
yeah,
maturely. And it was a good mix, in my opinion, from all of the emotional testimonies to have a very controlled one, to have a very simplified one, like, oh, okay, that was very clear. There's not much that we have to question about that. And it's concise with the emotional stuff. So I already knew in my head, I never watched their testimonies, but I heard enough about them. But in my head, I'm thinking to myself that, I walked in that room and I gave him a nod of respect because it's like, there you are in your rightful position, and here I am in mine. You knew this day was coming. And I walk in there like, oh, there he is. And gave him a nice little nod. I haven't seen him in a long time. It was cool. Walked in there, sat on the thing. And
yeah,
it was just so easy to look at him. And I noticed that he had a hard time looking at me. And, from that point, I started to know, like, I could see it in him. He's like, man, this guy can ruin me,
yeah,
But remember this, it's always the more powerful person who gets to show mercy. It's never the other way around. So I decided to show levels of mercy to where he still gets to answer to himself for the things he's not on trial for.
yeah.
You see,
That
and that's
makes sense.
that was my thought
Facts.
process. One day he can still grow past it. And one day he could admit to himself. I don't need to leak that video or share that video much because it's for him to talk about. If it became relevant enough to where it was needed, I'm not going to hoard it. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, he got worse secrets than that.
Yeah,
Secrets in that I could tell you about. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you about my story and my journey, my experience there. And I can never tell you who he was. Only he could do that. I could only
Yeah,
tell you what I thought about him because I would hate it for people to do that to me.
yeah. Yo, so you see how he cut his hair while he was in jail, and the other members they start cutting their hair. If you feel like if he kill himself, the other members do the same thing.
Nah, I think they'll think about it. I think they'll sit there long and think about it.
Yeah,
I think they'll think long and hard about it. But nah,
but
I
the
don't
thought
think
still
they'll
be in
do
their
it.
mind though, right?
I think he would somehow find a way to communicate with him if he hasn't already, and have them like not do that. Because I remember every time I got him out of jail in different countries, he's always telling me how he wants to kill himself, and he
Yeah,
could be saying that to speed up the process. I don't know, but every time I saw him, I would always be one of the first people to visit him whenever he was in jail in one of these other countries because I'm doing all the work with the lawyers and everything. And I go in there, I get to see him. I'm always gonna be able to see him first more than everybody because I'm gonna get the job done. I gotta go to him. I gotta get the messages. I gotta know everything that he needs. Everything I need to know. Not nobody else needs to know it but me because I'm getting everything
yeah,
else done. So I always see him, and every time I see him, he's always way skinnier. He always like is way humble, really nice, really kind, really small. Like he really literally deflates.
yeah,
And you know, he always tell me how he's like, please, I don't know how much longer I can do. I need to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. Like it was always that. Please, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on with Velvet? Like, what's going on with the baby? What's going on with them? What's going on with this? You
yeah.
know, I would just don't worry. It's cool. Give us a week. You'll be out.
So you was second in command?
Always since I got
Yeah,
there because I'm the only one that matters. Like everybody's learning.
yeah.
And ultimately that's always going to be a trump card because they can try to get one. The first time I got put in charge was when everybody got and all the men got together in a meeting to get me kicked out.
What was that
And
for?
well, because for each and every one of them, it was something different. One of them, he was sweeping wrong and took too long. I took the broom from him and I just took it over and finished it right in front of his face. I'm like, see, look, you bullshit. And I moved forward and just moved on. And he's like,
Yeah,
and I was like, whatever, dude. And I was like that. I'm still like that. I'm like, I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. And so, and then moving for the other guy, he's like, you know what? We're on our journey here, I only had this much money, and yeah, this and that. I had told the guy he had no money. Me and my homie had no money. We was in the middle of Mexico, and we had no money. And I had told my homie online that, hey, I'm gonna pay you this much if you can send me this much right now. And he did it on the spot. But the money that he was gonna send back, that we gonna send to him once we get the money from him to get to where we need to go, was gonna
yeah,
come from a refund from flights that we refunded, but it took some time for him to come in because
yeah,
my homie had paid for those flights. And so I had because I had made that move, and he over time he's like, man, you didn't talk to me enough about it. You didn't do this and that, and he tried to spring it on me later on in this meeting. And then another guy, he's like, yeah, when we talk, it's like he doesn't really listen to us, and this and that, and we just want to do this and we want to do it like that. Eligio heard everything in the meeting, and he asked me what I thought. I'm like, they right. I did all that. And I still feel that way. Like, yo, like you was moving too slow. Like, bro, that was a great move. It ended up playing
yeah.
out more, and we made more than that money back already. And
So
and
you,
bro, you're like, bro, you just need to stop being emotional. He's like, bro, everything sounds like to me, Solar did everything I would have did. He's in
yeah,
charge of all of y'all now.
yeah.
And that's just how we move forward from there. That was just how it was.
Was it a point he got jealous of you?
Eligio,
Yeah.
his wives, Velvet, Janae, um, Efru, a lot of Izoka, a lot of them will let me know. Yes.
So you had
Ra,
all of
Ra's
them.
another one. She let me know. She said she only like comes when she's with me. All the women, whenever they have sex with him, they have sex with me sometimes. One of the bigger things they'll tell me was, with you, it's something completely different. It's
Yeah,
like it's real. It's like there's something there with him. It's like they don't really want to do it, and they'll always tell me that. That's the trending thing about all of the women is that they know that they can get closer to him by doing that every day, some type of sexual act or something,
yeah,
but they don't want to. Like they literally be like taking turns because they don't want to, and it's interesting because when they come back to me, it's the first thing they tell me,
yeah,
and I kind of ask a little bit too, but it's interesting. They also let me know that he had more than it wasn't a jealousy. He extra liking to me, like outside of this normal. Like he would say things all the time, like, "Damn, it's some Diddy shit." He would say things all the time, like, "Yo, man, I wish I had a female Solar here. That'd be the perfect wife. None of
Oh
these women
shit.
could do it. Like none of y'all
Have
women,
you
y'all
ever
women need to
tried
learn from
anything
Solar.
with you?
Solar showing y'all like how things need to be done, how I need things, and none of y'all can step up to the plate,
Yeah.
man." And then he always saying stuff like that. Would you say, Jack?
Did he ever try anything with you? Because we know
No,
he had. Have
I think
he ever tried anything with any other man in the tribe?
no, he hasn't. But I think that from what I have from his wives, after the whole ordeal, was that that was probably next. That was probably in his lineup somewhere because
So if it was in his lineup next, what do you think the next man in the tribe would have been?
you said what?
If he was gonna do it, what do you think the man in the tribe would have been that he would have tried it with?
Oh man, who you saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who would have been
Oh
the
man,
man in the
I can't.
tribe
I'm
that he
not
would
gonna
have
name
tried
him.
it with?
I'm not gonna name him, but I'm gonna say
He
this.
said,
I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. There was a conversation where he was trying to teach about. We was in Panama. He was teaching everybody about sperm, and he was
yeah.
putting out there like, "Whoa, it has so much data that, and I'm so smart that if you had my sperm, it would just make you smarter. So you would be smart to want to drink my sperm." And he was telling everybody this online. This is a big thing, and it was getting a lot of followers at the time too.
He was
Yeah.
And the
drinking his
guys, I
downloads,
remember,
right? Them
I've
was them
heard the
downloads.
downloads, right? So I heard conversations about it. This never happened, by the way. So I'll put that out there now.
Okay.
Never, none of it ever happened.
Yeah.
But
Cause
the
y'all was talking
conversations
like
about
they
it,
was drinking them.
nah, no one ever did that. But we had a conversation about it one time. I remember this conversation because it was the guys in the car. We just finished from filming a video, so on some Diddy shit. We came back from filming a music video,
Is a
and we
Diddy
in the
shit.
car,
That Diddy shit.
and he on the live, and
That
we
Diddy.
driving up to the house with him talking about it on the live.
Yeah.
And some of the members in there was like, "Man, I don't care about nothing but this knowledge, man. I'll do it. I don't care, man. I'll put it in a smoothie. I do this.
Oh,
I'll
Oh
do straight
shit.
to him, whatever it got to
That's
be."
straight some
Some
Diddy
of them,
shit.
another one of the guys who you would, the two guys,
That's
there's two guys you wouldn't expect to have been. The other guy was
who
like,
was it?
"Man, it ain't
who
nothing.
was
I don't
it?
care about none of that shit. I don't care about nobody think about me, man. I'm trying to get that knowledge, man." And
That's
I,
crazy.
Who
Getting that
man,
wanted
knowledge
the
is
knowledge?
crazy.
Who wanted the knowledge?
Getting that knowledge
I
is
can't
crazy.
tell you who, but
You
they
gotta
know.
tell us.
Yeah, y'all, I'll let y'all.
I
Yeah, it's
bet
okay.
one was true.
Okay,
Yo,
it's actually three of them. It's three of them. The other ones were all like, and then there's me
Was
where I'm
one
like, "Bro,
true?
I'm good. I can just tap into source. Like that's how it works." Like I just, I'm like, nigga, like yo, become as just as smart as him.
Hold
Then
on. Hold
yeah.
on. Who
your
was
sperm
it?
should be
You
that
gotta
level. Don't
tell us.
you don't need
You
his
got
anyway. And I mean, and he would give things like there's certain cultures, and these guys would justify it by researching the tribes where they initiate young men by drinking the elderly
Oh,
people.
so
Assuming
Nature
they
Boy was
do that in
ready.
there's like
He was
two or
ready.
he
three
was
African
gonna
tribes
get
that
him
do
that
that.
Yeah, he was
knowledge.
ready.
Crazy man, I can't tell you who man. You ain't never who they. I'm gonna leave it
Yo,
alone. I think they got wives and all that man. Just stop.
Oh my
uh,
God,
I
that
can't.
makes me
We're
think
not
I
doing
know
that to them. Man.
definitely who.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they got going on, man. I'm gonna leave
You
them all
said
alone, dog.
wives.
I don't know what they got going on. I'm gonna leave them alone,
oh yeah,
though.
so like it was the same when we doing my research. I
Like
seen a
I'm single
segment.
now.
Yeah, I seen a segment when Nature Boy brought the
God
transsexual to the
damn.
to
And that's
y'all. Like
What?
that's in
you pick.
alignment with what I'm saying. Is like he was going in that direction, and the women we never looked at Eligio as gay. We
Yeah,
didn't
How
look at him as
not?
that
He
because
started off.
I'll tell you because we are aware of his sexual background already of his life in the sexual entertainment industry.
yeah,
I grew up seeing my first stepbrother is gay. So that was never a weird thing to me ever. I always understood some men like other men, some women like other women. I just always understood that. It wasn't weird
Okay.
for me. So him being in the sex industry for 10 years, I'm thinking about what have I done for 10 years?
yeah,
And whenever he dances and stuff, it's not gay to us. As we're like, hold on, we probably should learn how to dance because the women are choosing him.
Yeah,
All women are choosing him. It seems like he knows what he's doing. So when he teaches anything about sexuality, like we kind of listen to him. And no ever time has he told us to be gay, but he gave people the opportunities to come out. And he would say things like, if you're a gatekeeper, you're an oracle, that's special. That means you see like a man and a woman. And that's how we looked at that energy. So
yeah.
that's from the beginning. We was always talking about it like that. So we don't talk down on any of that. We just let them be what they are. You
So
know.
did anybody participate when the transgender came there?
So moving forward, years later, this is how it started. We're in Philly,
Yeah,
and he has the transsexual. Like I have a video with the transsexual, and a couple of the other guys are in it. And that same girl, a girl guy, he had on um, FaceTime when we was in a different state. He was in Atlanta, we was in Philly, and he was
yeah,
getting head from said person, but we didn't necessarily know.
yeah,
We thought he had like this pimp outfit on, and he was just getting head, and all the girls were watching, and all the girls were learning how to give him head from this girl. Come to
yeah.
find out, that wasn't a girl, and all the women were cool with it because she's more girly than all the girls.
That's crazy.
She is more feminine than all the women, and it was really, he was using it as a lesson at that time. So later on, he was trying to put out there that, hey, look, and this is, I don't know, we don't talk about this, no one out here, nobody talk about this, but he
Yeah.
had us looking up gay bars and clubs in Philly so that we could find transsexual women to serve us. Because
Oh
this is one of the
shit.
times where he was saying all the women are supposed to be with me. It was one of those times, and I had Zoka was back with me, but they were looking down on us. We were bad because we were together because she's supposed to be with him, but she chose to be with me, so we're bad. So and same thing with Sheba, and True. It's like we're at the house, we're fine, we love it, but
Yeah.
whenever we get together, we're wrong. And he'll always throw things out there, small little things like, oh, but she want to be over there, so we're gonna go do this, and he'll do stuff like that. And we got our girls, but none of the guys have any girls, and a lot of the guys are very heartbroken to where they're at the point like, I guess that's just what it is. They would rather have a transsexual for pleasure and service rather than nothing. And no one was thinking about this. He brought it to the table, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I guess I could do that." And then obviously all the peer pressure. One person says they'll do it, another person says they'll do it, another person says they'll do it.
Crazy. That's how
And
he
it
broke them
never happened.
down.
We never went out. We never did the places. My guy Nate, my homeboy Nate, he right near the room. I had to ask him. I'm like, hey man, what is this? He's like, why the you asking me this, nut ass? Why you asking me this,
Yeah.
man? Hey, look, there's the chestnuts and the acorns and the this and the that. You guys go over there, like y'all really want to do that? Dog? That's what y'all
Yeah.
want. Like, and so it was funny because it never happened. But shortly once we got to Atlanta, that same person he had come over, and what he did, if y'all ever seen Rush Hour 2, he had the men all lined up, and she was right there on the couch where we had lined up. She was on the couch. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the respectful thing is. I'm sorry, but we
Yeah.
had
You
all
good? You
lined
good?
up, and he's like, pick one, pick which ones you want. And he did say, the men who don't want to be a part of it, you can step back. The only person who said that was True.
Yeah.
I think True and like Juju, and I think they're the only ones who like resigned or whatever. But
Yeah.
the line, I didn't necessarily want to resign because it wasn't for the pleasure factor. For me, I knew that this was going to echo. I knew that it was probably going to be online to some degree. There's going to be some record of me and Chief or me and Eligio, doing some crazy stuff because we're already putting porn online.
Yeah.
I made porn with all my wives, all my women, all my girls. My phone is loaded with bruh. I don't
Yeah.
want to
And
delete it either.
your
So to
women
me,
is different.
I'm like, whatever. I wish I could leak my videos to this day. I wish I could leak my stuff,
Yeah.
but I can't. So this is one I know that it will be online and it'll be big. And look, Solar and Leo are right there. And I don't care, man. You got to realize, like, I don't care that much. So to me, it's a stunt. And I go and I went in there and I know I'm pretty good. I know I'm better than most people there too. So I'm like, yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, let's do it. And so yeah, I was very happy, but it was an ego move as well. It was all ego for real. From when I
Yeah,
looked at it, because I knew that I could stand in the room like this, and then I just knew that, and so I was like, fuck it, And I've had my experience in the past. I don't judge myself, man. I had my
yeah, yeah,
experiences in the
yeah.
past when I was very
Respect, respect.
young, where we're cousins and we don't know what we got. Or
Yeah,
my girl cousins, a lot of my girl cousins. Like I told some of my family members how I was molested by the females in my family, and no one believed me. I got in trouble. I got in trouble, and that was growing up. And I don't know. I'll never talk about that because I don't think like it's been a trauma. I think it's just I get it. I just think I get it. I understand. Now I'm where I'm at, so I don't never really revisit it like that. But that's actually the reality. As funny as it used to be to me, and it's taboo and weird, and I really don't care anymore because there's so many men who actually go through that. They just lying. And, it's me being there, seeing that and seeing those men and what they're talking about, how I can't even say some of their names for certain things that they said right now is just proof it wasn't just me who have had these encounters when we were younger or who have ever been curious to any degree. I learned it's not for me. I can't stay hard in those situations. It's not for me. I
yeah.
don't like that. You bring a girl in here, we in like 80 different positions all night. 5 hours, 4 hours. I'm cool. I like that. I teach tantra. I teach the harnessing of the kundalini energy and the sexual energy. It's a sacred thing, and it is very taboo. And I do think it's being exploited. And I think that the whole LGBTQ thing is a part of the exploitation, as well as the sexy reds and all that stuff. And it's weird
Yeah.
out here. And
It
I
is
think it's
weird.
all like I actually don't agree with most of it, but the way that, and I'll end it with this on that topic, is that my view on it to this day is like I was said to you in the beginning. I believe in purpose. If your purpose means that you with two guys and you're a guy, I don't give if that as long as that's your purpose. If your purpose means you're single, if your purpose means you're a girl with two husbands, if your purpose means you're a guy with 5 wives, 6 wives, if you're a guy with one wife, you're a guy with no wives. I don't care. Are you in your purpose? And I don't want to be with somebody that I got to be with only when they're out of their purpose they can be with me. That's not love. So that's called conscious uncoupling. That's something that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be with somebody who's pretending to be something else just to be in a relationship with you. And you shouldn't do that for them either. So I'm predicate everything on it's not for me to judge what your purpose is. That's for you to show me. I have no I got a call. Is it for me? Do I necessarily believe in that? Why would you call back if I decline it? So I'm sorry. So
No, you go.
my thing is, I'm an unconditional lover. I believe that no one has any right to judge anybody else's life until they
That's fact.
reach an enlightened state, at minimum, and then I might want to hear somebody out on their opinion. But until an opinion is a worse, is what does they say? Opinions are the lowest.
Opinions are just like assholes.
Hey,
Opinions
bro,
the
you got
lowest,
my
or something like that. And I'm like, man, do what you got to do. Be you as long as you're in your purpose. And I'm not saying just figure it out. I literally, there's sciences, there's ancient knowledge, arcane, occult knowledge that can tell you who you are, that will tell you things about yourself. I can see why through my Gemini Mars, excuse me, my Gemini Mars, I would be more open to considering the ideas, trying something, and seeing if it's for me or not or someone with a Cancer Mars, which may have been some of the other guys, they would be like, hey, anything for you. Or any, like, and I got a Virgo Mars, sixth house as well. So it's Virgo, Gemini. Excuse me, it's Virgo third house. So it's Virgo, Gemini. And so it's really, I'll try it, but it's really for you anyway. The better I could please you, that's going to make me happy. I'm that type of guy. So, and then you mix that with the third house. I've tried that with both genders in my lifetime. I'm not sitting up here as a liar. I was young and I understand it. Moving forward, seeing how it was an ego move for me on that day. It really was. It was a yeah, put the camera on that for a minute. Move. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know it was actually gonna be big, for real, you know. But it was. And apparently that girl made a ton of money off of it too.
Yeah. You ever thought about starting your own carbonation?
Yeah. So what I did was I made a school. It's called the Astral School of Everything, but it's not a carbonation. I'm actually the CEO of Carbonation to this day. My own
Yeah.
Carbonation Productions. I am actually the chief executive operations of Carbonation
Yeah. So
Productions.
you can make a movie off of that shit, if you want to, right?
They tried to make a movie off of it. That's how I found out. I was the
Eligio
CEO.
can't
Question. Hold
make
on.
no
Hold on.
money.
Question. Hold on. My fault. I don't mean to cut you off. This is show on BET, right? I watched this called Ruthless. Is that shit
Yeah,
based on? Is that shit based on y'all?
I seen that, bro. Everybody was
Yeah.
telling us, bro, they're watching you guys.
Man, tell
They're
Tyler Perry
watching
need to cut a
y'all.
check, man. Tyler,
Bruh,
cut a check. You
everybody
heard?
was saying they watch. Hey, we might have to talk about that. We might have to
Word
talk
up.
about that
You gotta
because
talk to Tyler.
the whole group, we all was watching it while it was coming out. Like, wow, yo, like, because all the stuff they did, we had already pretty much kind of already been in, and people have already, trolled us about, and we know
Yeah.
the other cults that exist, and we're not doing what they're doing. We was a whole nother thing. We was literally teaching like real truth. The problem was
Yeah.
him. The cult leader ended up being the issue anyway. In the situation, we were okay with it being a cult, but we were a cult based in actual truth. It wasn't ideologies. We based things in facts. Like it was different. It wasn't even Scientology type of things. It was the truth, and I stand on that truth to this day. None of them else can stand on that truth because they don't know it. They don't do the practices that it takes. In carbonation, there was no practices of there's no breath work, there's no meditation, there's nothing. It's get all the way outside of yourself, give all your energy to him, and that's it. It ended up becoming a not demonic, excuse me, a vampiric sex cult.
Damn.
And that is why people are afraid that I would start carbonation again because they're like, you just gonna do that again? No, that's what Eligio did with what he had. I
So
would
what would
never
be
do
the
that with
difference?
with my power. And what's
What would be
different?
the difference?
This is the difference. My motto, number one, is called the Astral School of Everything. Your purpose comes first. I would never have anybody do anything I want them to do. I'm gonna help them lock into their purpose and make decisions for themselves. But my motto to my school is sovereignty in all dimensions. It literally, I learned the lessons. Sovereignty means completely self-governing state. The Antichrist is somebody who says, hey, for you to have a connection to God, you must come through me. That's your Antichrist. Anybody who says that, anybody who does that. Now, you can be connected to God yourself and be like, hey, I got a message. That's different. Everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. The problem is when people think they need to go to someone else to talk to God. And so I predicate everything on sovereignty in all dimensions because what me, all have in common is we can all close our eyes and talk to God at any given time. Everybody has that. And what we were taught was to not use that. We were taught that if we did that, we're just being demonic. We're just channeling our lower selves because he's our higher self. Why would we
Yeah.
focus on our charts? We should be studying his chart. That type of thing. I would never do that. I say, here's your chart. I'll do an immaculate reading for you, and I'll be there for you every day if you ask. But at the same time, I don't care. That's you. I'm studying my chart every day. I'm studying me every day. I don't got time to study a whole nother person in any day, at any given time. And I spent years doing this. I spent years outside of my purpose. And just 2, 3 days in my flow, I accomplished so much more than I have in years. And that's just how it is. We were being drained for everything in multiple dimensions, and we couldn't see it. We just couldn't see it. I thought I was being loyal. I thought that they needed me, and I thought that at any moment in time, this could blow up, and it's all gonna be worth it. It's all
Yeah.
going to be worth it. They'll get the truth. We're going to be big. There'll be millions of people, and we'll be on stages delivering our messages, singing our conscious
Hmm.
music. I'm not caring about him. I can't wait till we get the huts and the houses and the money and the land, and we expand. That's what all the men is waiting for us to get rich so that
Yeah.
we can do our own thing. All of us. It's every man's dream in carbonation to get your own house, have your own life, have your own kids. Every man
Facts.
wants to do that, hands down. We we
So
we accept the other stuff.
yeah. So how much it costs for your school? Like, letting people know how much it costs.
Well, I'm actually considering making the school free. At
Okay.
this rate, I'm gonna make the school free because I have my tribe. I have been posting. If you guys see my social medias,
Yeah, for
my
sure.
IG. is King Love Solar, King dot love with the three dot Solar Soular, and you'll see on my page I have promos in Florida. We're gonna be doing some IRL events. Now the people who I'm working with, they're people who I really agree with. You know,
Speaking of that, I don't mean to cut you off, so my fault. I'm
you
cutting
good?
you off though.
You
But yo,
good?
yesterday I seen a live at King World posters, man. You feel me?
What was it? What? Just tell me what I was
That
wearing.
one from last
You were wearing a
night,
fucking witch
bro.
hat,
What
bro.
you had on the head?
Nigga,
Where your head at? Where
Here,
bro.
your
John.
head
Here, John.
Stop it, stop
You know what I'm
it, bro.
saying?
at? Shout out to King World,
You know what I'm
real
Stop
quick.
saying?
it, stop
Ah,
it, bro.
yeah, on the real quick. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out,
Yeah.
shout
So
out.
like, so
You know,
so
I really
yesterday,
this really had me considering. So the reason why I like this was given to me. I helped somebody in Philadelphia clean out one of their mansions, and this
yeah,
they gave me all this Halloween equipment from a fog machine to like strobe lights and black lights and that hat. And ever since I had that hat, it's just been sitting there. I put it on for the first time yesterday. And I'm
yeah,
like, yo, I want to get a costume. I'm about to be performing in Florida as well. And
yeah,
I'm like, I want to get a costume and I want to start making like a costume. I'm gonna get like a magician costume or some like royal something, all
yeah,
black with gold trim, and I'm just gonna trend that. And I'm gonna
yeah,
wear like weird clothes, like not like average clothes. Like I'm gonna get
yeah,
costumes, wear like emperor clothes, magician clothes, like on some like
yeah.
different stuff, like some new Michael Jackson, like spiritual Michael Jackson stuff.
No, yeah, cause yesterday you said you practice your meditation and practice your magic. Like, what type of magic you practice?
So magic is just
That is
mag,
true.
MAG, mag,
Yeah,
mag. Magic is just magnetic. That's all it means. You have
yeah,
electric, you have electromagnetic, and you have magnetic. Okay, electric is just energy in itself, whereas
yeah,
electromagnetic is energy in motion. That's frequency, and that creates
yeah,
light. So whenever electricity is in motion, it creates light. And then when the field that is generated by all of this together is unseen, you can't necessarily see this field with your eyes. You see the light. You see that that's what you can see from its frequency, but its field, we can't see the field, but we can feel the field through the melanin in our metal hair, in our antennas. We can feel it through the melanin in our eyes, the hair all over our body. That's what it's there for, their antennas.
yeah,
And we can sense the field, and that's what the unseen energy is. So when you learn how to work with those unseen magnetic energies, that's what they call magic. So how do you do this? You work with spirit. You start setting intentions. This is like what Conor McGregor does. Hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna do it like this. Years later, he does it exactly how he said he was gonna do it. Some people will call that magic, because what he did was he took control of spirit and he said, hey, this is where I want to be. This is my vision. This is my imagination. And that's also a representation of your field or your imagination. It's the
yeah,
same faculty. And, he says this. And so he starts making his present his new past, and the past don't even exist. It don't even matter what he was. The past is completely gone. It's just now. It's just his future self, and then his present self becomes his past. So this is a form of magic. This is self imaging, is what they call it. There's many ways that people will call this a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. Every time you type, you all type your names in there. That's magic. It's literally spelling, literally. You just may or may not understand it. Gematria, all of these things. You're using a language. It doesn't mean you chose it. You were given it, just like you were given the body. You're not asking to use it. You're using it, and that's just how it is. So you got to learn how to use these things. So I consider myself an alchemist, because if you give me something negative, I will work with it in its energy form, its light form, or its unseen form, its magnetic form. Easy. That is physical, mental, or emotional, and then spiritual. Spiritual is all beyond space and time, as is the field. So if one can learn how to tap into the field, you can start to pull specific codes from the infinite source. Which you have to, there's things you got to breathe. You got to be at high frequencies to pull high frequencies. Because if you're trying to be spiritual and you're not doing what it really takes, you still got imagination. you're just gonna be pulling lower things, and that's very real. Spirituality is not really a game. If your
Yeah,
body is off and you're supposed to be doing this, but you eating this, there's a dissonance. You know, and you're gonna experience that in life. Whereas if you say like, hey, I see myself healthy and strong, and that's how I want to be. That's your imagination. So that means you got to feel that way emotionally. You got to know things to do to get there mentally, and then your body gets the benefit of that. It never should work the other way around. You should never be responding from the desires of the body and then doing that and then calling in whatever spirit. No, never do that. That's bad magic, and everybody's doing it. They're people body. I just made a video about this. They're getting hijacked right now and don't know it because of the influence that's there and the lack
yeah,
to take control. So if you don't take control of the car, you let it go on autopilot. You let it take you wherever you want to go. That's what's happening with social media and TV. That's
yeah,
why I make my own music. I listen to my own music. I make my own
yeah,
music.
yeah. Speak on that.
That's magic.
Can you give us any names who you performing with? In like the first week of
Yeah,
April, I
yeah.
believe.
Illuminati
Yeah,
Congo is a
yeah,
great conscious artist. Illuminati Congo, y'all look him up if you don't believe me.
yeah.
You change your life, your mind, your life, all that. Another one, Young Wildin'. You ever heard that song, Good Energy? I don't need no negativity around me. That guy?
That's just yeah, it's just something like yeah,
Yeah, it's big on TikTok. It's like that's huge, huge. So with him and a lot of my other homies and a lot of other cool people. So it's a big retreat, a big spiritual retreat, and I'm not I'm gonna leak this out there a little bit, but I have my school, and the reason why I'm making school free now is because I do what I do every day. I teach every day, no matter what, anyways. So I'm gonna put
yeah,
it in my school, and the people who want to be there and learn things they can, but it's gonna be way harder and way more expensive to connect to me. It's gonna
yeah,
be way more rare to get my time and to get the exclusive perks that I have. Like I have a lot of things to offer to people.
yeah.
It's
For sure, for
crazy,
sure.
but I only give it to people who ask. I don't advertise it. It'll never work. It's not something you convince somebody to do. It's something that happens when they're ready. You can't force somebody to grow. You can't force somebody to elevate. You just gotta be there and be like, hey, I got this. And it's not necessarily an ad, it's you just being you. You gotta do it for yourself. And then somebody will be like, hey, how do I do that? Oh, here, take this package. I had it for you the whole time. I'm glad you asked. I teach
Yeah,
about it every day. So you know about it. You can learn about it. But when I work with you directly, it's going to be different. So the school I'm thinking about making free, I'm going to leak this out there, is that I'm making a record label. But it's not the traditional record label because things aren't traditional anymore. But I know how
yeah,
to work with that world.
yeah,
I have AI courses. I teach people how to use AI, how to do web design, how to use Web3, how to build their own websites as well, and things of that nature. As far as I also teach them financing things with credit, things with taxes, things with secure party crediting, forex trading, and then I don't even have to be the only pro because I'm connected to hella pros. I've been paying thousands of dollars for this information.
yeah,
Thousands. I'm $10,000 in a hole. I'm paying for experience. And it's worth it. I love it. It's worth it. You can't tell me otherwise. And then deeper than that, it's what I do. That's everything. So I can know everything that I know. And I've had my depressive phases where I'm not doing enough. I know too much and I'm not doing enough. And just doing a little bit throws me right where I need to be. I'm telling y'all, like, there's nothing that beats locking into your purpose and doing that. And one day, like I had to just think about it. Like, every day that I don't try, I'm letting down all the people that believe in me. Like there's
yeah,
people out there that believe in me. And if I just give up today, which I think about every day, do I get up out of bed? Do I do the workout when I get up? Do I get up on time? Like, do I do this? Do I do that? Like, I just do it. It's those things. Because the only thing that stops you from doing what you know you need to do are distractions. There are responsibilities that you've taken onto yourself because somebody else won't take them on for themselves. And it's become a toxic relationship that we get locked into. These are the thorns that they talk about in the Bible that
yeah,
choke out the plant that's trying to grow. You know, and so you got to learn how to remove these things from your life slowly but surely, but recognize that you put yourself there. And I believe in alchemy. I don't believe in magic as far as like teleport here to there. I
yeah,
believe in the way that it works is that because there's no space and there's no time, it's all now. You have to learn how to take what you got and turn it into what you want. The problem is nobody cares about what they want. That starts with imagination. You don't go energy, frequency, vibration. You go vibration, frequency, energy. You're trying to manifest reality here. It's too slow here. There's no time there. You create the vision. You see yourself. Look at your habits. Look at what you're doing. Look what you're not doing. Learn from yourself in that infinite part of yourself through your imagination. Take notes. Script out who you want to be. You can't go wrong, but it's going to require discipline to accomplish that in the energy form. That's where the work gets put in on you. Everybody wants to get the money and wants to run to the money, but I'm telling you, you're gonna make so much more money by raising your personal value. And if you're working
Yeah,
these jobs and you've got different ways in which you're making money, you've got different hustles, find ways to start to make money, spending less time and delegating more things and just becoming more of a boss. That's what happens when you're in your purpose. You let people do what they're supposed to, and you only do what you're supposed to do. And it looks very simple, and that's high value. You want to know, you don't want to be like, whatever. I guess I could do that for you. You don't want to be that as a woman or a man, and that's what I learned from carbonation as well. The lack of self value will have you dedicating years and years of energy to someone who does not have your best interest at the end of the day. But in that process, I chose to grow and work every day anyway. So I still come out with extra value. I still come out on top. I did not lose.
facts, facts.
And
So
that's
I
what I
got
want everybody to take from anything that they do, from any walk. Find ways to get your time back. It's your number one asset.
that's
Start
facts,
with the
bro. That's big fact.
imagination.
A big fact. So I was doing my research, right? And I gotta ask you a question. Is you and Jaguar, right? Really related? That's really your auntie?
That's my auntie, yo. I
Word up?
love Jag.
That's your
Yo,
auntie?
so we not really related in blood, but it don't even matter. It don't even
Yeah,
matter. The type of connection and understanding that we have, like I couldn't even tell you everything that we doing. And it's funny because she's been doing what she's been doing for what, like years and years and years, and she's been in the game for 30 plus years in the
yeah.
game actively.
Yo, yo,
So she been
listen,
saying this shit.
I mean, cut you off. Everybody thought she was lying or whatever, like saying she was doing some bullshit when she talking about that Diddy shit, and that shit came to tuition, bro. You feel me? She was a lying though. She was a lying
They did
though.
it to Orlando Brown too.
Yeah,
I did an
fast, fast.
interview. Me, Jag, and Orlando Brown. We got interviews with real life street stars. I'm
Yeah, I
glad that
seen
I'm
that
on
shit.
that same
Yeah,
platform as them. And the thing is, they did him the same way. They did Jag the same way. I'm telling you, it's just like me. I feel like I'm dealing with a different type of Diddy because the other people ain't gonna say nothing. They're
yeah,
not gonna say nothing. They ready to drop it and move forward with life. I'm like, guys, I can't continue even teaching the knowledge because people are still affected by him and not knowing.
yeah,
Jackson Jr. are there because they don't know what happened. You got to tell them what happened. You can't be like, it's okay to come
Mhm.
out. You guys aren't crazy.
Mhm.
We love you. Do you know
yeah.
why? What happened?
But
That's why
like you
he in
said,
jail because of what happened.
like you said, like in an interview I watched, you say Jax and Juju didn't have no wives. You feel me? So they couldn't really understand how y'all was coming and shit.
They came in
They,
years later, and I mean,
yeah,
Jax
I
had a
got
girl. Jax had a girl.
I
She
do
brought a
got
lot
a
of money.
really
She got
quick
beat up and left the
question.
next day after she came.
that's
Do you
crazy.
feel like Jax and Juju are the wives?
Did you finish the question? Did I miss it?
Did you feel like
I'm like, are you okay?
he missed it? He missed it. Never mind. He missed it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
no, I
Never
missed
mind.
it. I
Yeah,
missed it.
never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
like back
Never
on
mind.
Jaguar, right? Like how is y'all relationship with her and her husband? Like everybody cool now?
Yeah, and that was crazy because that's how it started. Was I was cool with her and her husband. I was
Yeah,
me and him were actually cool. I actually didn't like Jag at first when I first met her.
yeah,
I actually didn't like her. I thought she was lazy. I thought she was this, she was that. Come to
yeah,
find out, oh, that's disrespectful.
yeah. Jack crazy. But
No,
what
that's not
happened?
cool.
What I do? What I do?
What
What
you were
I
saying
do?
though?
No, you could laugh. That's fine.
Yeah,
But I do have I have to learn from that.
yeah. Damn.
I'm not
So
a
man,
jerk. Or I'm gonna say this real quick. No one's gonna stand on my value for me but me.
yeah,
Um, I don't do that. That's not what we do over here. Not
yeah,
with what I do. Not with how much work I put in every day on what I do. Like I could be somewhere else. I could be doing something else. Like, and that's not nothing to rock
Well, I
about
didn't
you.
say anything
But
about you.
Jock, I ain't even know about you. Ain't nobody invite you. Don't nobody need you over here being disrespectful without
Well, I
words.
didn't say anything about you to
Nobody
begin
needs you to be
with.
disrespectful without words.
Well, I didn't say
And it's
anything
funny
about
because
you to
actions say
begin with.
way more than words. And I mean, for you to argue it just means that you're gonna do it again. So my point remains. But I digress.
Yeah. Anyway, where you tell people where you can find your music at and shit.
Yo, just type in my name, Solar More Ray, and I'm making it available on more platforms, on like all platforms right now. I do all my own album art. I engineer, produce, record, and write my own music as well. Just
What?
got a new song finished today. Uh, yo, and I got Patience about to drop soon, and then I'm gonna be dropping the songs, but they won't be available for a couple weeks. But I'll be
Yeah.
performing them before I drop them. So I'm telling y'all, like April 5th to I believe like the middle of April, April 5th to like the 14th, we got this crazy event.
What?
Like I
What's the
didn't
location? What's
know.
the location at? Like, where is that in Florida?
Homestead, Florida. We got this crazy place rented out. The people who are investing in us and supporting us were like, this is it. This is the time. And
Yeah.
astrologically, I mean, and this is why I'm so serious, Jock, so you can gain an understanding.
Yeah,
I'm a
for
Saturn
sure.
10th house. I am a Scorpio
I'm
North
just,
Node in the 5th house, and I am in my Saturn return right now. So there is a high level of standard and regalness that I've always had, and people have seen in me that I would always put away because I never really deserved it. I never knew why. Now I've earned that, and I've earned a lot. And you know, at this point, there's a regalness that I need to start owning and stepping up to the plate. There's a seriousness that I need to take. The key word for Saturn is no, no. And
I feel like,
I'm in my Saturn return right now, so this is something that I'll be embracing more. And as I do it, my life it gets way better. And that same energy is what got me out of carbonation. So I'm not gonna put it
yeah,
down.
I feel like at this point, I feel like you feel offended when I wasn't making fun of you. I didn't say
No, no,
anything
you were just
about you.
laughing. And what happens is, and this is why I can't take it personal.
No, when
What
I turned
happens
off
is
the camera, I was about to go to the restroom. I wasn't
people
laughing
say
at
what you
you.
want, but people say what you want. People, they tell you their values through their actions. And me, if I'm on here with Drake, if I'm on here with Kanye or someone who I really, would like, or maybe it's my show and I've worked really hard to get somebody on my show. I'm not going to be up here turning the camera on and off, laughing at the person at a joke they didn't get, knowing they didn't get it. And it's not even about if it was funny or not funny or personal not personal. I don't know what's going on. And you turning the camera on, getting
Well, it
up and
wasn't
walking
nothing
around
about
is
you. I
and what
didn't
we
say your
talking
name
about
in the
is
joke.
not it's not that. You're not the person here to be making the jokes like that. And if you can do it smoother. Like because
Yeah, but your
number one,
name
you
wasn't
wasn't
in the
I don't even
joke.
know how you got here. But I respect it because I respect Rod. Me and Rod have
Yeah.
built a
But if
certain,
you
but
was
I
to
don't know
watch it
you.
back,
So
your name wasn't
I
in
have to
it.
take everything that you're giving me for face value. I'll listen to you. I'm done.
Yeah.
What
But
was you
I
saying?
was saying, like, your name wasn't in it. If you was to watch it back, I didn't say your name.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened. It was your behavior,
Yeah, no, I was just saying
conduct.
you
It's called
wasn't
conduct.
included.
It's just called conduct. It's like
Yeah.
etiquette. It's like eating with your
But
elbows
when
on
I
the
turned
table.
off the camera, that wasn't included into you.
It lets me know.
It was just a coincidence.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm telling you how I think because you tell me how you think of what it was, but I'm also telling you how I think. And
Nah,
one
that
way
was
that I
just a
think is that
coincidence.
based off how somebody treats my table or treats my house,
But nah,
to any degree.
that wasn't trying to be
I
disrespectful. But
know,
I
I
could
hear
see
you,
on
I
your
hear you.
end how you could see it could have been
I hear you. My thing is
disrespectful.
like you don't go certain places with certain behaviors. You don't go to certain places with certain etiquette. And like, I'm sorry, but out of any professional cloth
Ooh.
you cut
'Cause-
behaviorally. Make any excuse you want, you're fired
mhm.
in my book because I don't have time to play. You do.
All
I
right.
didn't come
Now,
here to play. I don't know. Maybe even if you did, and see what I'm saying, like all of that lets me know your values. It doesn't tell me anything else. Your etiquette, and that's fine. It has nothing to
I
do with
don't know.
me.
I'm saying
It
I
has
didn't
nothing to
mean
do with
to
me. I leave
offend
it
you.
alone, but I'm gonna stand on my boundaries and my standards.
All
And
I was
I
saying,
like
I
to
all
did
stand on
not
them
mean
because they
to
become
offend you.
lessons in themselves. And I don't take it too personal to where you're not an enemy to me anymore. I'm just
That's
observing.
all I'm trying to
You know what
say.
I'm saying? I'm just observing you, but I'm gonna be honest and real about it now. Like I'm not
Just
going,
saying.
you know what I mean?
All right,
I'm
so
not gonna
so if
say
you
it
just
Exactly.
is.
my fault, guys. So if you can speak on it, like when the last time you seen your kids? If you can
So
speak on it,
you
how
said
you seen
what?
your kids? When the last time you
My
seen your kids
kids?
from
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
So I get
I
to
missed that question.
so I get to I
Mhm.
get to talk to my daughter. I get to talk
Yeah,
to Azuli. Me and Janae, we're cool. All the things that were online, she was accusing me of, what weren't true, and she ended up, letting it all go, and ended up letting me meet my daughter
oh,
about
you met
three
her?
months in.
Okay.
And then now I get to FaceTime her and talk to her whenever, I do everything that I can to support them as well. Sometimes it's been really, really good, and I can like OD, send them hella stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's been a little harder, just the minimum. But it's a beautiful journey. Me and Janae have a beautiful relationship right now. It's not like a partnership, but we love our daughter. And then
yeah,
with Velvet, it's I think that would be the case, but she has yet to open up the door to communication again. So for Velvet, it's been some time, but I give Velvet time. Velvet, I understand her. I love her. She done been through so much, man. I give her all the grace in the world to heal and do whatever she need to do for herself, empower herself. Whether we end up in a relationship together or not, at the end of the day, I get it, and
yeah,
I don't make her a bad person for our relationship not working out when it did, even though I think it could have and it should have. We both have our hangups, and at the time in our relationship, I could have did better in a number of things too. I did my
yeah,
best though, and everything was documented, everything is online, so people know. All the drama, extra drama, that's unnecessary.
yeah,
They come back and drop and be like, "I'm sorry, I said that shit." I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I made that live. I was mad and did this." Like
yeah.
we
So
used the live as a weapon at certain
so
points.
they never try to put you on child support, none of that shit. Like,
No, no,
yeah,
no. I support them anyway. They don't
yeah,
gotta put me on no child support. They know that when I got it, I got it, and I
yeah,
always got them. They're the first people I pay out when I get paid.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And if they know, it's may have like I said, there were seasons and months where wasn't able to do much. It's times where I can do a little more, and
yeah,
that's never been the determining factor in our relationship. So they never cared about that. They always are just wondering. They always say this. I think you don't really love me. I think you were just love bombing me. He was manipulating me. He just wanted to use me for the internet. He just wanted to
yeah,
use me for my looks or I don't know, man. I heard so many things out of their mouths for reasons. I have a song called "The Coldest." The
yeah,
reasons why you left is so broke. Hold on. It's wintertime, how you the coldest. The reasons why you left is so bogus. If I didn't love me, I'd be hopeless. Heartbroken, maybe even heartless. That's a great song too.
yeah, yeah. Where they gonna listen to that shit at?
That one it was on YouTube. I just took it down.
Why you take it down for, bro?
I'm because number one that no, I did make that beat. I did make that beat. I was considering
You produce?
relaunching things. Yeah, I engineer, produce, write, record. I
Yeah.
do everything myself. Everything. I've been doing that longer than anything else.
God damn, all right,
Music.
you multitask. All right.
Yeah, man. I'm him. Like I really am with it, but it's because from a early age, I will say my father raised me well. From what I did
Yeah,
get from my father, my mother raised me well. From what I
yeah,
did get from my mother, my sister raised me well. My cousins, right? I came out great. I came out great. I'm like a fish that bit on the wrong hook at one point in time, but I'm safe.
yeah.
I'm back in the water. I got a scar or two, but we back. You know what
Do
I'm
y'all
saying?
feel like y'all need therapy after that whole Nature Boy situation? Like some people need therapy. Like,
100%. I had to
yeah,
go through intense therapy. I did a number of different things of what most people would do because I don't care about their standards. I went
yeah,
to plant medicines and I went to the mines and the shamans and the indigenous people, and they let me know I am a shaman. I belong. Like with what I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. They know I've never seen it. They've never seen it. If I was to tell that story, what happened on that Scorpio full moon in the Mayan jungles, um, wow, it was absolutely wow, beautiful revelation. And these are the reasons why I don't care to convince people to do things. I'll let you know why I feel how I feel now, but I know who I am right now. I don't need
yeah,
nobody to like me, to respect me, and none of that. But you're not about to disrespect me. That's not what's about to happen. You don't
All
go to
right.
no king's palace with no level of disrespect. I am not a jester. I am not a peasant. I know who I am and I know who our people are, and it's about time other people start to remember. They would Things would get a lot more serious from what we eat, what we listen to, what our kids listen to, the quality of men that we have, and the information that they have and their connection to God and what they give into the women and what they give into the kids. Women are frustrated because men don't care enough. And men don't care enough because at the end of the day, they don't believe in it. They think that they're just gonna die. I know them personally. They're like, nah,
Yeah,
bro, you got it. That's not for me. Bro, it is for you. You're built for it. What you're doing ain't for you. That's gonna kill you.
yeah,
That's not for you. You getting shot every other day, bro. I'm tired of flying out to see you in therapy. I'm talking, bro. I got too many reasons to take this serious, and if I don't take it serious, nobody will. It's not a
yeah,
game, it's a joke. Laugh later, and that's not just for you. That's like I'm saying that on the
yeah, yeah.
platform.
Fine, for
You
sure,
know,
for sure, for sure,
that's
for
not
sure, for sure.
directed. That's like on the platform. That's how I talk to
Yeah, for sure.
everybody. Even in my reality, people are looking at me crazy. Like today, my roommate was looking at me crazy. Like, bro, what you mean, spirit? I'm like, yeah, bro. Spirit gave me something. Like, I got an omen for something. I think I should wait for X, Y, Z. What?
Yeah,
Huh? But I can't make it important for. It's important to me. I can't. If even if I explained it, it would still sound crazy to you.
yeah, facts.
There's no point in that. I just got to stand on what I know to be true, and that is one thing that we failed at carbonation. So I'll be damned if I let anybody disrespect me or my loved ones in my face, or anybody else. I won't even let people disrespect themselves in my face. I'll be like, hold on, bro, don't do that to yourself. I don't force it. Like if I tell you something, like for example, homegirl eat Cheetos. I'm like, hey, that's poison. You know we got this alternative. I'll even cook
Yeah,
you food. And they still choose to go to McDonald's and bring all that stuff outside of now it's not Cheetos, it's all the other stuff. Then I'm like, all right, like that's what you want to do.
yeah,
I'm
facts,
not here to
facts.
tell you what to do, but if you're gonna be around me, don't feed that to me. Don't feed that to my kids. Don't make that seem like a cool thing to my kids. My kids come around, I'm telling them that's poison. And if you feel
Yeah,
bad about it, I'm sorry. You're in Delulu land, not me. You justify the poison. I won't. I don't even use normal tobacco. I can't because tobacco is a sacred plant. They poisoned it. I have tobacco and cannabis, and both
yeah.
of those things they've taken made
That
legal and poisoned.
that's a spliff right there. We spoke that shit up here and shit. That's a
Yeah, you
spliff.
already know. I'm
Yeah,
a
that's a
Jamaican.
spliff.
I'm a Jamaican, bro.
Yeah,
We
that's a
smoke
spliff.
grabber leaves and stuff like
The
that.
grab Fonto, all that
You
shit.
already
Facts,
know, bro. I was just up in
facts,
PG
facts.
County for a while too. That's when I
Oh, you in
first.
Baltimore?
My whole family in
Oh
Baltimore, bro.
shit.
They know my name on
Yeah.
the blocks in Baltimore, man. I go out
Yeah,
there, say
I'm
my
from the
name, you know.
DMV. Hell yeah. I know
Yeah, I
exactly what you're
love it
talking
out
about.
there, man. My family out there now. My auntie out there. My people's out there now. I love it out there. I need to go back. And yeah, so I've been out there. I've been working all. I used to get paid to travel the country when I was like 17 to like 18 to 19. I used to get paid
Yeah,
to travel the country. I used to build racking systems in like military bases, like old, like new warehouses, like all kind of like movie sets, uh, um, Keurig companies, all kind of big things. I get paid to travel in
yeah,
PG County. I spent a lot of time out there, and I can't tell you everything I did. I'd love to tell you the story online. But that's the story I can tell in person of everything I did in that season. But I was a man very early.
yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
that much. That's why I don't play. I've been rich. I've been
yeah,
rich. I've had it all already, and I've had nothing, and then I got it all back already, and then I had nothing again. I've learned
yeah.
so many times what not to do. That's just life.
Yeah, I seen on the live yesterday. You say you ran through some money. You say you up. You feel me? Like you up a few mil. You heard? Like,
And you know
can you,
what? It
can,
was
can, can you
good.
can you explain that though?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna put it to y'all like this: there's only one way that you're really ever gonna get rich like that. Two ways, and the second way involves the first way. The second way, I'll tell you first, is gonna be the stock market or forex. Anybody can actually get rich overnight. It's the hardest, it's the easiest, it's the most difficult, easy way to make money. It is the most easy, difficult way to make. It's weirdest. I don't know how to put that because it's hard to do, but it can be
Yeah,
done. It can be done. I turned 10K to 200K in 2 weeks on
yeah,
just gold alone, just only trading gold. It can be done. Then the first reason is the answer is community. Any millionaire that you know, their bank accounts probably got like $200, $300 in them. The
yeah,
reality is all of their value is invested, all their value is in projects or in companies. And this is why I teach this because I know how to retain value outside of certain levels of the government. I can't say too much right here because I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah,
But
fact,
at the end
fact.
of the day, there are things that I do and that I can help people do to where, you know, one, it's not one plus one, it's multiplication. It multiplies. And then you get a community of these people, everybody's rich. Everybody. And I mean, you can talk about six, seven, how about eight figures? Let's talk about nine figures, and having access to that is what you want. It's the
What,
access to the large
what's the
sums of money. Like you have a
what, what's the,
trust for your birth
what's the most you
certificate,
made
but you
off
don't have
that?
access to it. Hmm?
What's the most you made off of Forex? What's the most you made?
The most I made off of Forex and profits before losing it, couple thousand, not much, not
Yeah,
much. I had it, but I didn't cash it out. You know, took some bad trades later. It's just how it goes in the market, man. And you got to learn when to get out. I had poor risk management a lot of the time. I lost a lot of money in there. That's why I spent the most money investing, learning how to trade because I would pay these people to just start trading with them every day. And ever since then, I just started winning all the time.
yeah,
And then there's certain times where I got lazy or I forgot about certain trades and I didn't put a stop loss and they just killed me. Like, and it's hard to recover. It's like getting an A plus all day and then getting one F. It's like, damn, it could ruin everything. And that's
yeah,
kind of what
fact.
happens. It kind of becomes a little collateral. It's that's how it is. So I don't put it before everything. I learned to put spirit. What I learned from that was to put spirit, my self development, my working out, my lifestyle before the money. For me, some people may be too deep into that where they need to get more practical and they might need to focus on money more. That might be somebody's purpose. But for me, I focus a little too much on money to when the
Yeah,
moment I start getting spiritual, it all comes to me, bro. It literally can be overnight. And this is the key. And I didn't tell you the key yet. This is the key. It's not about the amount of money. It's not about the knowledge or the product. It's always the community. Always. You
you said
get
always do
connected.
to me.
You get connected to two, three millionaires. You good.
Yo, for sure, for sure,
You good. Just be of use. Be of service. Make sure that you're in your purpose. Don't sacrifice
for
your purpose
sure.
back either. That's another thing. So I locked into my purpose and I sacrificed the check and it worked out for me the other way because I got a Scorpio North Node, which is the opposite of Taurus. I'm not supposed to do things for money, so I'm not going to charge people what I think I should charge them. I let
Yeah,
them kind of choose, or I'll offer them the minimum or the
yeah, for sure.
average, things like that. Because what I would charge, bro, way too high, way too high. That just won't make no
Yeah,
sense. I'm just gonna be
yeah,
like,
fact.
you can't afford me then. I guess I'm gonna spend time with myself because it's priceless time.
For
But
sure,
like
for
now, you got
sure.
to interact with your community, and I learned that that's what's more important for me is to actually be of service and to say the taboo things, say the things people don't want to hear, say the
Yeah,
things that are obvious but we ignore. That's my purpose, and I do that through many forms as a Gemini. There's not one form. Music, art. I do all my own art, all my album covers. If you type in Sora Moray on any platform, every cover I made all those covers. Like on my
damn.
Instagram, I do my own quotes. Those are all my personal quotes that I made. I've been writing
I be
quotes
seeing
for
that shit
years. I've been
for
collecting
sure.
quotes for years. Books. I got 4 books I'm getting ready to release. I got a whole curriculum. I get up every day. I work out. I'm not taking no disrespect, bro. Fuck that. I do too much. I do way too much. That's my baby mamas. They don't. I know they don't sweat me because they know me.
Yeah,
And the reason why they got mad at me when they was with me was because I probably got lazy. They probably knew what I could do versus what I
that's
was
what you
doing.
thought
So
it
I got
was.
another song called Green Thumb about that. Like I know my
Yeah.
baby mamas love me. They don't hate me. They believe in me. That's the problem. That's
Solar, what day your birthday on?
June 2nd, 1995, 7:35 a.m.
June 5th?
June 2nd.
I'm June 5th.
Oh,
I'm a
you are?
Gemini.
Look at that. You're a second deacon Gemini. That means you Gemini Libra like me. You a lover girl.
Mhm. Mhm.
You a lover girl. That's cool. We rule about Venus. We like fairness. We like balance. We don't like confrontation. We love senses. We love food. We love smells and pleasure. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's in our nature to embrace it more than other energies. We know how to communicate and share that. But we want to share what feels good with us. We want to share the jokes. We want to
Yeah,
share the good times. Libra is very good intentionally, and they don't want problems. They don't want issues, so they do run away a lot. Me personally, I sense something going on, I get away. But what I'm learning to do with the rest of my chart and what I'm supposed to do, and I'm meant to stand on business. And it's just like that. Like I got a
Yeah,
Saturn 10th house. Like in Pisces. Like I can't be a Jesus where I martyr myself and kill myself for people. No, I gotta live. I gotta live my best life. I gotta do what's best for me. I gotta preserve myself. That's a lie.
yeah,
You're not supposed to go out here and kill yourself in the name of others. Like that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to build your connection to the source and allow that ego or that lower identity, let that go if anything, and expand it. Because you never kill your ego. You can only expand it. But people don't want to do it. It takes to vibrate higher, and that's the only thing you got to do. Sit up and breathe, and control your energy throughout the day. Control your response. Think before you move. Stop moving before you think. Everybody can do those things. Everyone, women and men. We just it's just not normal. So I have this thing I'm saying I want to make nirvana normal because that's your most authentic self. Why is that not normal? Everything should be frowned upon. That's not enhancing or helping our generations. Like it
that's
should be a
fact.
crime to do something that's going to lower the frequency of our generations. Like if anything, like high tech should be grounding shoes. Grounding shoes are high tech, not shoes with earpods in them, not shoes with Bluetooth capability. Shoes that connect you to the telluric energy of the earth to allow you to channel source. That's high tech. How about one of these? How about an Ankh? That's high tech. This is purely ruled and governed and used by anyone using energy, frequency, and vibration. But you probably haven't studied it because we don't have a class for it. That's where all the ancient stuff is hidden in, and they hide that. We got to
Yeah,
tap into it. We got to
My
find it within
tattoo at?
ourselves.
I can't. You can't see it.
I can't see it a little bit. I see you trying to show it, but I can't, it's not too
Yeah,
clear.
you can't see my tattoo. I was trying to show it.
I'll be trying to do that too. I'll be like,
yeah, that should be
Yeah, you
what's
can't
up.
see it.
oh, there you go. I see it.
You got the yeah,
Yeah, women naturally know what that is. Women naturally can go through multiple frequencies. Men have to more consciously do that, like logically. Women, their nature is to receive, so they're more like the mother. They're more like that womb all energy. But
yeah.
it's like you get to choose what you want out of the all, and they'll give it to you.
Hey,
Whereas
yo, so
men, we're the choice.
yeah, facts. My fault. When we was in carbonation, do you felt like you had more knowledge than Nature Boy when he was preaching and shit? Like you felt like you had
Man,
more.
I mean, no punches held back. I'm teaching him every day behind the scenes, every
Oh, did
day.
I?
I mean, you see how I talk here and how I do this
Yeah,
every day, all day. I'll be up 3, 4 a.m. sometimes. Like I have to write sleep down because I'll be up 3 or 4 a.m. If you in the room, we talking.
yo. So what were you thinking when
I'm
you like
teaching.
you came down there for like this healing and finding yourself and you know more than what the teacher all know shit. You feel me?
I
Like how you
went there
felt?
to show people that there was another way to live because that was the
Yeah,
X factor for me. I didn't know there was another way to live. I thought like because I'm coming from San Diego, California. I'm in Oceanside. I'm in Vista. There are Mexican gangs killing people for no reason.
yeah,
I know about Mark MS-13. I had to deal with them when I was 13. You know what I mean? Going walking home from school in City Heights. Like I used to a more gruesome view on Mexico and just that area. I grew up San Ysidro is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Not in the world, in the country,
yeah,
and I lived there. You go in the bathroom, the kids in there doing cocaine. My age, like not my age now, but back then, my age.
yeah,
Wow. They shooting and killing. They trafficking drugs every day. They going to school. You gotta understand, it was different out there. So my view on Mexico was crazy. The moment I seen that it was a jungle and that the only thing they have been showing me were the slums or were the cities, you could do that anywhere, man. You can go find a nasty dirty city anywhere and say this is Wisconsin. Or
yeah.
this is
That's
Texas.
all.
You could do that, but that's not all that there is. I didn't know how much more that there was. I didn't know about the cost of living. I didn't know that it was so easy to be organic. The reason why it's hard to be organic and vegan here, to any degree, you don't have to even be vegan, but to be organic and not do GMO at least, that's
Yeah,
normal outside of the States.
for sure.
In the States, they're like, bro, like the food here, the food in the States ain't even allowed in other countries. The fruit there falls
That's
off the
facts
tree.
though.
The sidewalk is loaded with fresh mangoes. They're gonna decay, and no one's gonna pick them up because there's so many more. It's too much to hold. You're gonna eat half of it and throw it out anyway because it's just that. abundant while people are hungry. And then it just made no sense to me. And then I also learned that you could feed the entire world if you would cultivate a landmass as large as Texas. You'd be able to feed the entire world nonstop on our current population. That's all it would take. So,
Damn.
I mean, out of all the world's leaders, these things are not important to us, bro. I'm out the system, bro. The system don't got our best interest at hand, but I do, and I can't wait for the day that they fall. You know, that's always been the mentality of most black men, anyway. But that's been the
Yeah,
mentality of a lot of us spiritual people. Is like, get out of Babylon before she falls. Here we build a Noah's Ark. I know we look crazy, but just wait till it rains. You know,
yeah,
we
yeah,
spiritual people would be on that type of time, but the reality is, the world never ends. And anytime you've seen the world ending, it's been false every single time. And the world never ends. The world's not going to end. It's all fear. The reality is that you know you're here to level up in multiple dimensions, and we get locked into and imprisoned electromagnetically because that's what they use, whether you care about it or not. That's what they're using for everything. Disney Channel
yeah,
was not Disney Channel. Disney World
Nickelodeon.
was invented
yeah.
as a project. They use buttons and sine waves that you can't hear or see to get people to do stuff, and they test people, they test on people. I mean, I don't know if they still do this. The 33 Club is right there in Disney, is in Disney World. Why there?
Yeah, that's right.
You know what 33 is? Oh my God. So this is a rabbit hole I went through in 2011.
Yeah. Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I mean, it's going to connect to Jaguar Wright. It's going to
Yeah.
connect to
Let's
Diddy.
talk,
It's going to
eh,
connect to Michael Jackson,
eh,
Epstein Island.
yeah, let's talk
All of
about what
this is
happened.
one thing. Suge Knight, all of it, one thing. It's
Yeah.
one thing. None of it is separated. Pizzagate, the molestation, these freight crates showing up filled with dead babies and body parts scattered and cut up in different pieces.
Damn.
All the missing children and people in all these different countries, families completely missing. Michael Jackson was never guilty. His case was so big and so elongated, and he destroyed this man just to cover up Epstein Island. That's not even speculation. That's
Yeah.
the timeline. Anyone can see that. Now you got the people who've been telling you who were there, who were a part of it, who knew these people. Jaguar knew Jay and Diddy and Big L. Big L was her lover. Big
Word
L
out?
better than all of them.
Hold on. She used to fuck with Big L too?
Bro, Big L was her lover.
Nah, I ain't know that shit.
Man, man, there's no cap on that because I'm with her. I be with her, and I only know about Big
Yeah.
L from her for real, and I learned everything about him since I met him. Since I learned about him, he's another Gemini, just like Biggie and Pop.
Yeah. Did she
Pop
tell you anything extra about Diddy and shit? Like, she ever say anything extra about
yeah,
Diddy?
she
Wait,
been calling him honeycomb.
why would she
She
say?
been calling him honeycomb for
Why,
years.
why would she
She's
say that
mad
shit
they
though?
killed her lover for fame in the beginning. They killed him. He was better than all of them.
Oh, Big L, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah,
told me the exact sequence of how it happened, from what they was about to do to what they all that. Anytime you want to talk to Jag, bro, let me know, bro. I'll get her anywhere you want, like anywhere you want. Like
Tell Johnny to holler at her. Tell I got some bread for her. Holler at her.
we'll talk.
Yeah,
We'll talk
we
after this
talk. Yeah, for
because,
sure,
like,
for
and it's
sure.
crazy, man. I never thought like, and people think I'm crazy for dealing with Jag, but I'm like, guys, this is a piece. This is such a valuable piece right now.
Yeah,
Do you know how much she knows about what's going on right now? She
yeah,
knows everything, bro. Not just Jag. Who Jag knows? Jag can pick up the phone and call everybody else who was involved
yeah, for sure.
at any time, bro. Like, and it's crazy because I've been with her and we've done it. And she'll call these people. I need you to meet this producer now. I need you to talk to him now. You need to work. So I'm not gonna tell too much of what she's doing, but just know that
Yeah,
it's the beginning with me and Jag. I got a song with Jag over here for her thing called it's Welcome to the Circus. That's her thing. But I got a dope ass song. One of my best verses is on that song with her.
a
Her singing
word.
is beautiful. I produced the beat. She gonna use it
I
for interpret.
I
Man,
listen to that shit.
it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but it's all through media. So even with Jag, and where she's at right now, I know that even with what I got, now I can boost her and support her. And I know that
Yeah,
she got some things she ain't talking to y'all about too, to where like, bro, like I hope you guys laughed at us. I hope you had a great laugh when we
yeah,
were down. I hope you kicked as hard as you could when we were down. Because when we get up, you ain't even gonna be able to see us again. You ain't gonna be able to touch us. Like, nah. So I judge everybody's hearts right now. I'm in that phase of where I'm acting normal, just being normal, like nothing happened. And I just want to see what's right, what's righteous for me. You know, if I need anything at any time, I got it. And once you get to that position, you stop wanting things and you
for
start
sure.
doing more. You start realizing it's not about wanting more things. I'm not doing enough. Let me get these push-ups in. Let me get these reps in real quick. You know, let me get this right. Let me finally write this. Let me get this finished. That's what it starts to become when you start walking into things, because the money can't be your legacy. It
That's
can't.
facts. That's facts. I agree on that right there. I definitely agree on that shit right
No,
there.
for sure. So it's
I should
like
down.
I said yet again, community, and the best community is going to come from you being in your purpose, and only you
Yeah,
can do that. Yet again, sovereignty in all dimensions. That's why your purpose is really easy to find. I just happen to understand occult arcane knowledge to where I can figure that out easy for you, but I can't tell you who you are, and I can't tell you what to do. You got to do all those things. Now I'm a catalyst. I can help every single step of the way, but I can't do it for you. I'm doing it every day for myself to a certain degree. So if it makes sense and I'm working with the right people, like that's why I don't charge for my readings as much anymore.
yeah.
If I do, it'll be a lot probably, because they're priceless. Everybody who I've done my readings for, they valued the knowledge. So they came to me, and all of these people are wealthy. All of them. All of them.
Facts,
The
facts.
wealthy people appreciate me. And I had to learn that. So I'm not taking no shit. And that's the lesson. That's what they are telling me. That's what they're telling me to do. Like, oh, the reason is that you got to know your value. Yeah, you're an absolute no. They don't know your value. No, we need you. I use you every day. I pay. Man, I'm getting all of that. So I'm like, I know where I'm supposed to be. I ain't quitting. I'm gonna keep knowledge. I'm gonna keep wearing my wizard hat. I'm gonna keep dancing around. I'm gonna make as many people not like me as possible. That's what
Yeah,
XXX did. He cut his eyebrows. He made
yeah,
himself ugly
yeah.
on purpose.
He was different, yo.
He didn't want
Respect,
people to like him from
respect for him.
appearance. He wanted them to get to know him before they
Yeah.
judged him. As that was a lesson XXX did. So a lot of people don't know. That's why he looked so crazy and demonic, because he wanted you to judge him. And I got something similar going on with my tattoo. A lot of people don't know what that is.
What is that?
It's his Sakuna. He's the
It's
king of the
like a
curses.
Naturo, right?
So, nah, it's something else. But who it is? He's actually a Gemini spirit. And the
Yeah,
thing about him is that he's the most powerful being in the whole like universe that he's in, right? And it's actually sourced from a real story here in life. But this character Sakuna, who's my background right there, he's the most powerful being. He gives you a chance. He always will give you a chance. The thing about it, and the reason why I got this though, was because it represents the mastery of it. The only way that you can harness his energy and still remain yourself is by using it only for love. If you use it for any other reason, he can take over. So you have to use this that power. That most powerful being happens to be like, I don't care. I'll cut your head off like nothing. You can have that power, but it doesn't mean you should just be reckless with it like he was. Which you have the power, but it's the love that controls it, and that's the story of the whole thing. So the whole story of it, me having it on my face, is showing that I have more love, and my love is unconditional to where I can keep the darkest of energies, the most powerful and darkest of energies, controlled.
all right, fast. So listen, we about to sign out. Is there anything you want to tell the viewers, the people before we sign out?
Man, yeah, I don't do interviews a lot. I don't want to keep doing interviews a lot, but I want to keep working with my man right here. So if I do an interview, it'll probably be
Respect,
somewhere over here, you know.
respect, respect,
And
bro.
that's just how I am. Like I said, community. I don't deal with just anybody. I deal with the right people. And closing thoughts is like, yeah. I mean, if you one of them people who out here talking about this eclipse all day, but you don't know your own moon sign, you over here worried about full moons and these events and all these different things, but you still haven't figured out who you are. If you
Yeah,
complaining about anything in life, but you're not able to completely script every minute of your life, You're not done yet. You still got some work to do with yourself. Be easy on yourself. All you got to do is refocus. And this is my closing statement: is that I look at everything that I teach as a bullseye. Okay, there's only one bullseye. That's your 1%. 99%, it's there, and you can hit it. But none of them are the bullseye. None of them are more important than the bullseye. And if you're even 1 degree off of that, you missed.
Yeah, it's facts.
So that's that focus that's needed. And I don't believe that you're supposed to focus on people, situation, things like that. I think first you're supposed to focus on God, and that will unveil the 12 dimensions to you. That's all I do. I just connect to God straight up. I do what it takes. I work on myself. I be quiet. I meditate. I breathe properly. I respect my bodies and all the different understandings of how life works. And I'm a good person day to day, so I don't have to be plagued with regrets or any of those types of things. So every time I judge myself, I'm really happy. I want people to know that stay locked into that bullseye. If you deviate, it's okay. It's not about hitting the target. It's about being focused on that. That 1% is the version of you that is connected to source, that is connected to everything. There's only one version of you connected to infinity. Every other version of you exists, and you can experience all of them, but through that channel. If you go to those other channels, you start chasing these desires and these other things first that are not in alignment with your purpose, you can get them and you can have them, which will ultimately be off. And there will be resistance and pain to indicate if that's where you're supposed to be or not. Because the source, when you're in alignment with that and with what God wants for you, it's never going to hurt. It's never going to be pain and suffering. It's never going to be hard. You may have to build patience, but that comes from knowing, and you can't be convinced that God wants something for you guys. You got to know it. You got to talk to God. Ain't
For
no way
sure.
around it. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell me what to do because I talk to God. I can tell you how to talk to God though. That's what one thing we all can do. I can tell you how you can do it, which is what they keep from us.
Yeah,
That's why I hashtag King James peasant to people who want to hit you with the Bible. Because I'm like, bro, he literally took out everything that lets you connect to God for yourself to
yeah.
stay in power, and it's documented. And you live your life by this book. You just don't care enough. And so I ended with that: is that intention, have it or don't.
Facts, man. Once again, man, thank you so long for the interview, bro. It was a good one, bro. Like, hopefully, I talk to you again. We get another interview in, bro. But like, bro, it's a pleasure talking to you, bro. I appreciate.